3, 2, 1.
Right.
Check it out.
First.
Three, two, one.
Check it out.
First.
Can I just bob my head to the music all day? Man, we are picking up this production quality every single bleeping show. Shout out to the team. Look at that sexy graphic, that background music. I mean, what are we doing here? Are we having a chess show or are we having a party? I don't know. Was it ever anything different? Welcome in, everybody. The state of chess. I literally don't want you to stop. We already got some subscribers coming in. They love the music. Shout out to Kortari. There you go. Shout out to Davina. I got to meet Davina at TwitchCon right before I got COVID, by the way. Everybody at TwitchCon got sick. If you didn't wonder, I have been testing positive with COVID all week. I have been sick all week. Are we allowed to talk about that? Is that an HR thing? Am I violating some form of like malpractice or something to talk about my own health problems? I think as long as I'm outing my own health issues, I'm allowed to talk about it. I think legal would check out on that. I my pink line was so positive. I was pregnant with COVID. I'm telling you right now. I have not been feeling good, and you're gonna see me doing everything I can in this show to just. Am I allowed to say that? I'm just saying it was a pink line. I'm a dad of 4 kids, and I've experienced a positive test before that was a great thing to celebrate. Okay, so I'm allowed to say that. I'm pretty sure at this point there are very few things I can say that would get me canceled. There is a line, and I will not cross it, but I get close to it every once in a while just to remind myself that there is still a line. So, any Hooters, welcome everybody into the state of chess.com. Boy, are we going to have a good one today. We are going to be diving into so much. I can't even begin to set the tone any higher. Appreciate the well wishes for recovery. Appreciate everyone who's coming in here to hear us talk about chess. And so, for those of you who don't know the format of this show, it is hosted by yours truly, Danny Rensch, Chief Chess Officer at chess.com. Pleasure to meet you. And we tend to dive into all the happenings, and we get dirty, we get ugly at times because we want to hear your questions from the community. It's my favorite show. And we give you all the best answers we possibly can, especially these days in the world of chess, which at times is a nutty one, from cheating scandals to other types of controversies. The chess world is on fire half the time, which I know is probably not the right appropriate thing to say, because there actually have been some, and there are different, very much more real tragedies going on in the world. So I'm gonna try to hold back any comparisons to how the chess world has been chaos. But I am gonna be real that the chess world seems busy. And this is a show where we try to dive into all of the tough topics. And we hope that you bring your A game in terms of questions. You guys have been doing it for the last couple of weeks. We've been gathering questions from Twitter, from Discord, from Reddit. Today I posted a message there. And so that's the segment where we get at the end, where we do a lot of AMAs. But we've got awesome guests from Chess Kid joining us with a huge event happening in Charlotte. We're going to dive into cheating. We're going to dive into all kinds of stuff. But as we see the questions coming in, the team is going to do their best to add any live questions you have, in case you haven't already posted them on the social that is anything, the media that is anything but social. We're gonna dive in, and it's time to talk about what we've done from a product perspective, from an events point of view. We always start off the show by reminding you of what the last few months have brought. So, without any further ado, let's dive right in. I see chat is already getting in. There's a stickied Reddit thread right now, and there's been a lot of questions coming in. But if you missed the memo, community updates number 1 starts with August 2023. And for those of you who are very, very astute observers of the show, you might note that we skipped July. That's because July's probably biggest claim to fame was that it's when PogChamps started. PogChamps kicked off in July. And it was an awesome event. I'm starting because you see the man C-Dog there who won it. Though, let's be honest, if PogChamps happened again right now, we all know who would win. And that, of course, is Tyler 1. Can we all just sit here and be fascinated by what is happening with Lol Tyler right there? I don't even want to say Lol Tyler anymore, because it's going to be Checkmate Tyler soon, because he's given up League of Legends like an adult, and he's finally playing a real game in chess, and Tyler 1 might be the most talented chess prodigy ever to exist. This guy is insane. It is incredibly amazing to watch. Shout out to Tyler 1, who I don't think anyone would argue is the greatest thing to come out of PogChamps 5. This guy is just amazing. I'm going to look right here at the camera when I'm talking about you, but Tyler 1, we see you. I see you. I see you avatar style, like I see the blue person inside you. But for those of you who also didn't know the update, we upgraded our game review to the latest and greatest from Stockfish, which is a big deal. We are now rocking Stockfish 16 here at chess.com when you dive into the game review, which, believe it or not, it's not easy to keep those things fully up to speed and up to date, but there you go. Stockfish 16 is the most powerful version out there. It is what is powering your game review. PogChamps was won by C-Dog, and the other thing that probably the biggest thing that happened over the summer was our launching of Untitled Tuesdays. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. But if you're not playing an Untitled Tuesday, and you're not a titled player, then it's officially a you problem, I guess, at this point. And it actually is a lot of fun. So do it. Check it out. If we want to go full screen here, I can do a quick review of of what else happened in August, just to make sure that nothing else pops out at me as something that I'd like to talk about. Usually we do that quickly, but yeah, August, as we said, won by Sea-Dog 5, meaning PogChamps 5 in August. Stockfish was the latest and greatest. We had some bots that were based on the likeness of the great artists in history, or many of them. If you didn't know that, we like to keep our bots fresh and have some fun. So if you didn't get a chance to play Donatello, you might have missed it. There you go. The Bullet Chess Championship was concluded. Hikaru won it. That's a big thing we'll just quickly mention. The Collegiate Chess League is something we're going to get into later on in the show. If you may notice, I'm wearing a CCL shirt. It is damn comfy on my skin as well, and you know I have sensitive skin. For those of you who have ever paid attention, I have very sensitive skin, and it's something that I'm not ashamed to admit. I get red very easily. You might even notice my neck gets a little bit red. If I was to draw my finger across my neck right now, it would really get red. I get sensitive skin. My skin reds easily. So I only wear shirts that I like, and that's the CCL shirt. Okay, and there you go. I think we'll leave August at that, and we'll move over to September if we want to. I brought up the article, but we can dive into the summary if we want. September was frankly like crazy. Let's bring up the summary and talk about it, because I think that from an outside of the chess world perspective, September was even bigger than August. I know we love PogChamps, and Tyler 1 is the gift that keeps on giving, because that guy is just really dived. He's dove in. He dove. Tyler 1 has dove headfirst into chess. Sorry about that. But Clash Royale and Clash of Clans was a partnership that we did right after PogChamps. I was in Paris with Ludwig, and we did an incredibly fun show where we did a whole bunch of crossover events and some versions of Hand and Brain, and ended up doing a bunch of stuff with Spell Chess. If you still haven't tried the Spell Chess variant, you should definitely check it out. It's a ton of fun. But this was the biggest partnership we've ever done in our history, working with Supercell. You know, literally one of the biggest gaming studios on the planet, and 200 plus million people play their apps every day. That's a pretty big deal. And so getting involved with them, learning so much from what they do, and helping their community find their way to chess, encouraging our community to find their way to the Clash games, it was a lot of fun. So really, that was the biggest deal. We've got the Barbarian versus King clubs, which is something that we did. We had a bunch of community challenges. I actually don't even know if you can still join the Barbarian versus the Barbarian or the King club. Can you do that? Can I join right now? I wonder if I can. I'm just gonna try it in real time. I'm scrolling through, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna click on the Barbarian King club. There you go. Okay. And I can join the club still. I would much rather be on the Barbarians club. Whoever's staff account I am logged in as, because this is not my official account for the show, you just joined the Barbarian Clash of Clans club. You're welcome. And by the way, does that club not look sexy? Look at that. Look at the background of that thing. That's a lot of fun. It's a bunch of Clash characters playing chess. So there will continue to be ongoing community events. And we've had a great partnership with Supercell, and we're going to continue to do fun things. So if you're a fan of both games, you might want to go join one of the clubs. Don't join the King and the Barbarians club, because that's a little sacrilegious. At some point, they shall do battle henceforth with, and you want to wait for that opportunity and really choose your side. So anyway, so that was probably the biggest thing that we did in September for the outside chess world community, and it was a ton of fun. Let's talk about the things that happened in September in the chess world as we dive into our next summary. Magnus Carlsen won the Speed Chess Championship, and boy, was that incredible, right? I mean, you literally had it come down to, they're saying I'm smurfing in chat? I'm not smurfing. No, that's, again, I'm logged into a staff member's, I am logged into a staff member's, account right now. So any Hooters, we're going to continue. Magnus wins the SCC. That was a big deal because it came down to the wire. Yet again, him and Hikaru continued to deliver. One of the things we're going to talk about in this show is the thing that many of you heard about when Hikaru broke the news, which is that an event we had so much energy and effort going into, really for more than a year, the beans were finally spilled that unfortunately we were not able to pull off the match live in Las Vegas, Magnus versus Hikaru. But I'm going to talk to you about that and give you the full breakdown of how that didn't come together, and with a big apology and a promise that we're going to continue to try to deliver. So if you want to know the juicy details on how the match never came to be, you're going to want to stick around in the show. But the match that happened between Magnus and Hikaru in the SEC delivered again. It was incredible. I literally thought we were headed to overtime. Hikaru was a move or two away from mate on the A file, and then somehow Magnus stumbles into this sacrifice the entire house, and the queen and bishop have a mating net. That was absolutely insane, and they are must-watch TV. Agree with the featured chat. So the next thing I'll mention is, if you didn't catch it, we released a premium video lesson series from Judith Polgar. And so there's so much content on the chess webs, as you know, right? And obviously we've got the Chessable team crushing the more a la carte, choose your own adventure. If you're into an Ishgiri's Neidorf, I don't know why you would, or a Levi Rosman course, I know why you would, or whatever else on Chessable. You can find what you need. But the lessons on chess.com are still included with the premium membership, right? Chessable is something you kind of purchase individually as your heart desires. The lesson videos on chess.com, we made a pretty big pivot a couple of years ago when I did the first course of this kind, if you missed it, with Fabiano Caruana. Maybe can one of our mods find a link to the course with Fabiano Caruana and throw it in chat here on YouTube and Twitch? So what we decided was that because we knew that there were already so many great types of content out there, and even at the time Chessable was not a part of our family, right? There had been no acquisition. We didn't want to compete with all the different types of content. So if we were going to invest in our lessons, we already did a really great job, I think, having lessons for beginners. We wanted them to be a little more special. And so these series are designed to be very like your life's work. These are podcasts meets chess lesson series. We've now done one with Fabiano Caruana. We did one with Vishy Anand, which is like life and games. And then we just did one with Judith Polgar. And it was awesome. And so you get really, really instructive chess. And you also get stories that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're looking for a reason to check out a new video lesson series on chess.com, I asked for a link there. There we go. We got the link there from BJH from the for the Road to the World Championship with Bobby. And we should also make sure we throw a command up for the Judith Polgar series if we don't already have one. If there was a command, I would read it on screen. Pinned in chat. It's pinned in chat. Someone just told me in my ear. It's pinned in chat. Okay, there you go. Okay, I don't know which chat they're talking about, but we got real in-ear comms now, so they can tell me things in real time, and it's fancy. Okay, and of course, the Champions Chess Tour was set. That was a big deal in September. The final event happened, and so we are headed to Toronto. So many things to talk about in today's show. If you don't notice, I'm like building up to it. I've talked about the match. Everyone wants to talk about cheating. We got a bunch of hard-hitting community questions. We got the finals in Toronto. Will there be a fan zone? Yes, there will. We're going to talk about it. You guys just get ready for everything. You're pulling up chat. And Danny released a Chessable course, or I'm going to Lead Chess. I actually am releasing a course very, very soon. And you can go to Lead Chess anyway. Play on Lead Chess, right? Learn on chess.com. We're a big open chess family here. But I will say this. We got Chessable stuff coming. I'm working on it. Okay, let's dive in. Let's dive into October. I think that's the last month we're going to summarize. I guess I'll pull up the month of September, but I already kind of did it, right? We talked about Clash Royale. We talked about Judith Polgar. Oh, we talked about the Create Your Own Chessable course. Maybe that's in October, because I think that I have it here in September. But if we jump over to October, which is not something I can do anymore because I left where I was because I'm an idiot. So I have an idea. Watch this. I'm going to go to the URL. I'm going to change this to October. I'm going to press Control A, Control C. I'm going to get to the new tab, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to hit Enter, and booyah, it's like I never made that mistake, production. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, October. More bots, more hero bots. We got more bots all the time. Another version of Martin. People can't seem to get enough of that guy. A quick recap of the SCC. The Photoshop contest continues. By the way, I've been called out more than a few times that I promised some secret lab chairs. I am looking at 6 Secret Lab chairs in the office in front of me that have not been opened yet. I will lift it and bring it over if you don't believe me. But I think I've already done it on camera before, so if you don't know, just find that. So, I never intended not to deliver on that prize. It's just that it took a little while for us to figure out a community activation. So, if you're not aware of the Photoshop contest, you should dive into that and get involved. And look, I think we've promised at least one. How much do we? Oh, am I signing the chair too? No, okay. No autograph chair. If you want that, we'll do it. But we're just giving away the chairs with a Photoshop contest. But we've got more than one. So if you guys deliver with some awesome fun, we will probably give away more than one chair. If you have not seen this video, I think I can give this video in chat, right? Because now production pulled up. Oops. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to open up chat. I don't think I can chat because I'm not logged in. I'm going to try. No, well, let me do it because I'm not logged in. LOL. Real-time funniness. Okay, never mind. Back to this. If you have not watched this video, you really should. Most heartwarming video we've had in the Chess Bullet for a long time. It was just so entertaining, and I definitely recommend you check it out. So, we announced in September the Chess Kid National Festival, but I'm saving all the thunder of that because we've got awesome guests coming up, and we're going to dive into this in full and invite everybody to come meet the stars in Charlotte. I will be there. Levy Rosman will be there. Funmaster Mike will be there. Jennifer Shahadi will be there. There's going to be awesome people. So it's going to be great, but we're going to talk about that later. And let's pull up the summary of October because in addition to the things I've already mentioned, there's a couple other notes. Chat was already coming at me hard. Polina Shuvalova beat the living tar out of me in this event. Just get it out, chat. Get it out. Let's go, chat. But as I tweeted, it felt good to lose to the champion. It felt good to lose to the champion. I thought Levy was going to take her down because I thought Levy would be trailing headed into Bullet. Because I think she's a stronger player, but I thought Levy's experience in Bullet was going to pay out because he's not that she's not a great Bullet player too. She's actually higher rated than him in Bullet, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But the point is, I thought that Levy has played a lot of Bullet like under pressure, right? He streamed Bullet, all those things, and I thought he was going to win out in the Bullet, but he didn't. And Shuvalova was the IMSCC champion. There you go. That's a really great idea, Bowties Live. Can we get an F1 edition of PogChamp? We know that Signs and Leclerc both play chess on chess.com, if you didn't know that. Shout out to Leclerc and Signs. I don't know if Max Verstappen does, but I mean, Hamilton's a chess player. I should just say that, right? So, you know what? There's all kinds of fun celebrity events coming up. We continue to try to take the idea of PogChamps, which is let's bring people who we are fans of in other areas and other arenas together to do the thing we are the biggest fans of, which is chess. And we're going to continue to try to do that. Speaking of which, Blitz Champs Texas took place. That was our third collegiate Blitz Champs, which is pretty amazing. And I think that Blitz Champs in colleges is going to be a thing to come. It's pretty awesome, especially when you've got some of the top ranked colleges in college football, which of course, if you live in the States, huge. You know, probably the second biggest sport, right? The NFL is the biggest sport, and college football is the second biggest sport. That's just the truth. Don't ask me why it's called football if you don't live in the States, because they throw the ball with their hands. That's a thing that they do. So, and of course, the create your own chessable thing, which I already mentioned. So, love the chat, love that you're here, and there is not really any chess on this show. This is a talk show. This is a podcast. This is a dive into the world that is chess show, and we appreciate you being here. Okay, so we have now talked about August, September, October from a community updates perspective, right? We've set the tone for the future of this of today, the state of chess. Comments are coming in chat. The questions we have had from the community, again, won't surprise you. I mean, if you follow the chess world, usually you're here because you're someone who's aware of things like Vladimir Kramnik, the 14th world champion's opinion on cheating, and everyone else sounding off on it, from Fabiano Caruana to Hikaru Nakamura. Chess.com, what's going on, where we at with that stuff. We want to hear more about the match that Hikaru talked about. As I said, we want to know more about events coming up. What are some of the exciting things to focus on? Toronto, the CCT. Can I, a fan, get involved? Is it worth me making the trip? I'm afraid to announce what we're going to announce on this show today, because it's the fan zone is going to be like they are turning people away, because the chess world has blown up, right? And so it's going to be like, if anyone, I mean, we already have a big enough fan base in Toronto to pack the house for what we're going to do. So it's going to be interesting. And if anyone is serious about wanting to come and meet some of the best chess players in the world, or the people you're fans of, it's going to be awesome. So there you go. There you go. So many interesting things ahead. Before we take our break, we've got a couple of other things to do before we do, right? We did sorry, I was on the wrong line at the run of show. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So whenever we do these community article updates, I'm missing it. I apologize, because we've got a very packed show today. My brain is already looking ahead. I've already touched on the fact that we're going to get into some cheating in chess. So let's make sure we bring up fair play by the numbers, which is something I will also dive into the articles, just to remind everybody of where they can see this information. You know, chess.com has work to do. We always have had work to do, and we will continue to do it, along with answering the community's call when they want us to do a better job about communicating about what we're doing. And that's some of the things we're going to get into in the show today. But if anyone ever wonders or says, like, hey, all these accusations of title players, I feel like one of the disconnects that's happening is people are screaming about there's cheating, and then other people are saying, yeah, that's a little bit of misinformation. Yes, you're right, there's some cheating, but there's no way it's 20%. It's probably closer to this. And I feel like no one talks about the fact that we're closing title players all the time, and we are protecting events. And it's like people are saying things. And if you ever read the Hans Niemann report, we posted a bunch of ratings, and I guess accidentally, either confirmed or not, I will not confirm or deny, a number of grandmasters who've been closed for cheating who confessed. Right? So I feel like there's this conversation, like as if we're not doing the job. We closed 28 title players in the last quarter. Let's go ahead and pull up one of the articles here. In case you're wondering, we published this information. Do we tell you their names? No, but I'm going to talk about that later on in the show. Do we currently announce to the world every time we do it? No, but I'm going to talk about things we're changing later on in the show. Every single monthly report we do has the transparent number. We closed 6 in this month. How much did we close in August? We closed 16. Holy bejesus! Why were you cheating so much, title players? In I think this was July and August. 6. Okay. There you go. Maybe that combined the two. So 16, 6. I guess this was also 6, because this was the October one. Yeah. So 6 in September, 6 in October, and 16 in July/August, which I guess if we go back to my slide, the math checks out. That's 28. Now, I didn't go to school for the place where the math kids go, but I think that's 28, 16, 6, and 6. So there you go. Obviously, a lot of other numbers there. And on that note, let's dive right into the support numbers, because I also want to always give a huge bleep and shout out to the support team who is working incredibly hard to keep our members happy. And it's really hard to keep members unhappy when they're unhappy. I don't know if you knew that, right? When someone's unhappy, it's actually not that always that easy to bring them back to being happy. But our team does it at an alarmingly, it almost makes you wonder if our support team is cheating. Like, is our support team cheating at chess support tickets? Because that's an accuracy rating of, we're going to talk about accuracy and why accuracy is actually not cheat detection later on this show. So if you're looking for more reasons to stick around, it's going to get real, and we're going to take your chat questions. So of course, we're going to clip and ship everything that matters, and everyone can watch it on VOD. If you are watching this from the future, hello from the past. But if you want your questions answered in real time, stick around and challenge us, because we're going to talk about why accuracy is not cheat detection. But if someone played 94% accuracy over 22,000 games, that would be cheating, likely. We're going to talk about accuracy is not cheat detection, but there is a way that the way that you can deal with the quantity over quality, all the dangers of why you can't take accuracy from a single game. I mean, my own son has played accuracy games of over 90%, and he's not very good at chess. I don't know why I just threw him under the bus like that. Sorry, buddy. But the point is, accuracy is not cheat detection, but 22,000 games of a 94% accuracy rating would be a problem. But our support team somehow delivers that, and they do an incredible job. So I hope that somebody on the support team is watching and shares this with the entire team in our water cooler Slack channel. Because that's bananas. That's not like we make up our own rating and we make up our own accuracy rating of happy customers and we control the tickets, right? So that's just such a great job, and it shows you that the chess world, has a lot of people in it who care about it. So thank you for that. All right. On that note, I think we're going to bring our first block to a close here, right? What we've done here is reviewed the past. Now it's time for us to get set for the future. Continue to bring your questions, and we're going to continue to roll on here in today's State of Chess. As I throw to a break, remind you guys, check out our content. We got a video for you with Chess Kids Fun Master Mike, a reminder that you can book your tickets and come to Charlotte and join us. Throw us your Prime if you don't want to miss a single commercial break with the content we have. I will be back in just a few after this message from Fun Master Mike.
For years, Chess Kid has had lots of fun online events, but it's finally time for us to go IRL, in real life. Puzzle competitions, a main event, and all sorts of other fun things to do. Announcing
the Chess Kid National Festival.
Come along, you'll meet Fun Master Mike there. I'm going to the Chess Kid Festival. I'm going to the Chess Kid Festival. I'm going to the festival.
Chess again? No, this is spell chess.
Do I dare read the instructions, or should I go in without reading them?
I didn't read the rules. This man is just blundering. What?
Basically, it's normal chess, but
there are two spells, jump and freeze. The freeze is applied to a 3x3 area. Man, this game is hard. What?
Freeze here, knight check. Boom! That's mate. Oh, that's incredible stuff. Oh.
Freeze. Wait.
A jump spell, which allows you to jump over a piece, and I'm setting up a win. Oh!
Then black would just freeze me.
Then I make a double threat. You don't have any freezes left. So if here... This is too hard. Wait, once I get the hang of this, we're gonna be winning so many games, though.
I can't block with any of those pieces, but I can use this, and then this.
Freeze this, and then go here. Yay, I won! Let's go!
He cannot take my bishop. He cannot take my bishop. It's a nice feeling when you start understanding the game and you win.
Oh, they resign! I'm not even lying. I think I'm one of the greatest spell chess players to ever play spell chess.
That was fun. I'm enjoying this.
2, 1.
Check it out.
First.
I want to do the face that I had for Danny versus the world. I don't remember when that happened, but I want to do that face all the time. We are live with stateofchess.com. It continues here. If you're just tuning in, thanks for making us part of your day. You've missed the segment where we recap and review all the things that once were and have been. And I know we start off every show with it, and it always makes it sound like, is it really necessary? But I really enjoy talking about, the things that maybe people missed, and sometimes I miss it myself. In fact, I will be honest that these days I don't have my hands around every product or update release as much as I would like to pretend to either. Things are wild and busy. The chess world is booming. And of course, we always get to talking about the fair play numbers, which is the first lead into what often is a topic that is super sensitive and critical for everybody. We want to get into it because chess.com is here to fight cheaters. Everyone here is here to play clean chess. We invest millions of dollars in events, and so it makes sense that people want to know that the chess is good and the chess is clean. So we've done those things. We still got plenty more ahead to talk about in all of those departments. But right now, we are going to talk about the match that didn't happen between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. And I'm going to tell you the story of everything that was going into this, what our goals were with it, and ultimately why it didn't work out. So the first thing, which shouldn't surprise anybody, is that we've been trying to make this thing happen for a long time, right? If you imagine a world December 2021, January 2022, when the ball first started being put in motion surrounding what we thought one company would look like if chess.com was to reach out to the Play Magnus group of companies and say, hey, let's be one, right? Let's work on a single-minded mission of grow the game, doing the biggest effing bleep in the history of the game. And instead of worrying about market share, let's worry about growing the market. And I'm giving the, again, very quick and dirty version of you don't try to work together and make an acquisition of a company, and the record is public of what that went down for, unless you believe that you can work together and do amazing stuff, right? And so many months later, right, this whole thing is in process, and as we're getting closer to it getting over the line, people start getting excited, and we were talking about what are some of the things we would do. Well, one of the things that you really didn't get a lot of over the chess boom, you had the Champions Tour final, right, where Magnus and Hikaru played the first one in 2020, which by the way was bleeping epic, right? It was on Chess 24, and even though we weren't working together, everyone remembers that it was incredible. But you really hadn't had a lot, and so of course everything about this was, hey, we want to have a match between Magnus and Hikaru. But what's funny is the circumstances that then made it potentially more epic. I mean, people would love to blame chess.com as controlling everything in the chess world. We're really not totally in our control. For example, here's the things that happened. Well, Magnus Carlsen decided that he no longer wanted to compete for the world championship. Chess.com had nothing to do with that, contrary to conspiratorial belief, maybe. And in fact, if anything, it probably wasn't the thing we were most excited about, because Magnus Carlsen was now a part of our family, right? But of course, we appreciate and frankly agree with Magnus in many ways about what the future of chess might need to look like, rather than, this is not a conversation of everything needs to be blitz. As someone who is called the most evil chess popularist, I'm not trying to fix classical chess. Classical chess is not broken. I love classical chess. But I'm acknowledging that there's a future world where maybe matches could be played with some faster time controls. We all like this idea of Fischer random. And so when Magnus decided to decline, the idea of him playing a match versus Hikaru also got more interesting. Why? Because Hikaru somehow almost freaking won the candidates, right? So Hikaru qualifies in Berlin for the candidates. He almost wins the thing. Then Magnus declines it. And so here we were like, oh my gosh, this thing should happen now. And here's what the world doesn't know. We literally had assets made and we were preparing to announce this match, a $1 million prize fund live in some major sexy city with the acquisition. But for those of you who followed chess in 2022, something else happened in September of 2022. Something called a cheating scandal out of St. Louis, right? And basically, we didn't have the ability to turn this thing around, or it wasn't a good idea, right? Everything was being turned on its head. There was a massive controversy building, the biggest scandal, not just cheating scandal, the biggest scandal the chess world has ever been faced with. And I'm not going to recap everything that went into basically delaying what was going to be an amazing match that we were prepared to do right at the acquisition. What I will then say was a lot of good things were happening for chess, right? There was a scandal, but there were so many amazing things happening in the winter to quarter one of the chess boom. One of those most amazing things was chess boxing. And chess boxing was something that I visited in person, and we supported Ludwig and his team to do something incredibly amazing. And shout out to Lud and Nick Allen and the whole crew at Mogul Moves for doing awesome stuff. And so as we rolled into the early year, a new idea was spawned. Which was, hey, you guys want to do this match between, I brought the idea to Ludwig, which was, hey, we want to do something that has never been done before for fans. We want to do the match that everyone wants to see. It's not the World Championship match anymore because Hikaru didn't win the candidates, and apparently it wouldn't have mattered because Magnus withdrew, but people want to see this event, and fans will bleep and travel for this event. And I want this to be the biggest, coolest thing that has ever happened in chess. And Ludwig is like, I'm in. Sign me up, bro. Let's go. And here we were partnering together to do the coolest thing ever. Initial plans had the idea of it happening actually in May of 2023, right after the World Championship, not to steal FIDE's thunder. If we wanted to do that, we would have actually competed with Danny Rensch, Yanda Pomnishi. But we decided not to do that. We decided, hey, let's do it after. A combination of not getting ducks in a row, we quickly pivoted to the summer, and we were committed. In fact, assets made, things ready for August of God, my years are messed up. 2023, right? Problem happened. Moving so fast, we were not able to get all logistics in order. We were still debating on venue, we were debating on cities, and ultimately we decided that if we were going to combine this with chess boxing, it should be in, and people are asking why with Ludwig. Well, first of all, Ludwig and doing something with creators is super awesome for chess. Part of the big chess boom we've had is what's happened with chess online. Aren't you watching this show on Twitch and YouTube, right? And so our idea was to do something that was truly epic. And this was a match that would be considered maybe a format that we should consider for the future. There was no world where this was meant to be a spectacle or some dog and pony show at the circus. This was going to be a serious bleeping match combined with an opportunity for creators to be there. And with chess boxing, we were literally trying to make what we were deeming as the biggest week in chess history. That was the idea. When August didn't come together, it was the final pivot. It was like, all right, we're going to do this in November to give everyone enough time to pull this together. We've been shooting content. There is content that I filmed in Oslo with Magnus. There's the content that we filmed with Hikaru. We put everything we could into this. And what happened, as you guys already know from Ludwig? Ludwig was not able to get his chess boxing license. And when that happened, there was also some very, very big moments, which was we were like, you know what? We're still going to do this. We are still going to make this thing happen come hell or high water. And with that came a massive change to our partnership agreement, to everything. But chess.com was like, look, we're still going to do this. We've invested so much to this point. It doesn't make sense to pull out, even if chess boxing is not able to secure a license for Vegas. And the problem was this. we've now got ourselves in a window where the only reason we wanted to do it was if we could deliver the most amazing thing in chess. Like I said, fans and doing something that was special. But now that we got the news that chess boxing was out and we were running out of time, we got one last final piece of bad news, which was that the venue we were working with, this part of it's on me. So I'm just going to stop and say this. In theory, we should have been pushing forward on the contract logistics on a more aggressive timeline than we were before we got the bad news of the match, but to be of chess boxing. But to be clear, we actually didn't think it was going to be a problem. Everything was wrapping itself up to the likelihood that we thought it was going to get a license. When everything fell apart and we were on our own with a venue, we got a contract that didn't align with something that we could deliver on, something that we felt good about. I don't want to throw anybody in those negotiations under the bus either, but basically a combination of insurance and legal and liability. And here we were, less than 2 months out, trying to put on the biggest thing that was literally going to cost millions and millions of dollars. And now we're in contract negotiations. And we made the very difficult decision to pull the plug, which was to say that why do this event if we can't deliver fans in a way that they've had months to plan? Where you had 6 months to meet up with your buddies and be like, we're going to Las Vegas, we're doing this. When we had basically no longer the partnership of chess boxing and ran out of time to promote this on a global scale, it didn't make sense for us to then spend 2 more weeks trying to negotiate with legal on a contract when even if we got that over the line, it probably was already too late for us to really get fans to travel around the world for this. So in the end, what was a year and a half of a labor of love for me, yours truly, and we had literally just announced that we were doing this thing at our company meetup. Like that's how crazy it was in terms of how this thing went down. So I just wanted to let you all know that we failed to deliver on something that if I had to hit reset, there's no way we wouldn't have made it happen. Probably we would have made it happen in May. Honestly, in May 2023 was the right time to do it, right after the World Championship where a lot of people wanted Magnus to play. And when that didn't happen, every single person involved, from me to Ludwig to everyone, gave their absolute maximum effort, and it didn't work out. And it was incredibly upsetting because I believe that we missed a window to do what would have been the greatest like chess fan over the board chess event spectacle of all time. And we messed up. We messed up in terms of not anticipating the timeline required to get the actual venue contract over the line. We were delaying that because, again, there were discussions with chess boxing. We were all making our best effort to do it. That timeline itself made sense. So it's like when you replay a game review and you're like, I clearly made several blunders, but I see that now. The way I was calculating, I actually know why I went for that tactic or why I decided to go for that. I know why I did this at the time. So in hindsight, I learned a lot about what it's going to take for us to properly deliver on these things. And I also learned a lot about how to properly plan it. And we've done live events before, but nothing that would have been close to the scale of this. And so for everyone who says, Danny, we still would have traveled to that event, you still should have done it, I'm just going to say I'm sorry. Apologies, and everybody wanted that thing to happen. We lost a lot of money in hindsight, not even by not doing it, by all the resources that went into it. And then the fact that we didn't do it meant that basically we lost a year and a half worth of planning, a ton of resources, and a lot of credibility, and a lot of tears were shed over the fact that that thing was ended. But that's what happened with the match. And what does it mean for the future? It means that while the match did not happen, Chess.com is committed to doing live events that we believe represent a product, if you want to use a term like that the modern fan wants to see. And just to jump into the fray of what is Danny Rensch, big evil chess officer, saying, right? Does that mean Chess.com is moving into over-the-board chess with an intention to compete with FIDE? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I don't necessarily believe that every long-form chess event, from events that I love and grew up from watching, from Tata Steel to the World Championship to the Isle of Man going on right now, these are amazing chess events that are serving us, the chess fan and community. I don't necessarily believe that experience is conducive to selling tickets for a live audience, fan zone experiences with how would we do that if you were really making it a TwitchCon meets World Championship. That's a bad reference because I just got COVID at TwitchCon. But if I was to say, hey, what do I think is a great experience that represents the modern audience that we have grown together? You are here by definition because you are part of the modern audience, so don't judge. Twitch and YouTube and etc. What do I think is a product that is a combination of Chesscon, TwitchCon meets serious, crazy, freaking awesome chess, and is respectable enough and elite enough that it also represents what I do agree with Magnus on as the true most challenging sporting elements of the game. I do not believe that 7-hour world championship matches are the most challenging to the sporting elements of chess anymore, because when preparation, on the rare case that preparation surprises a dude or a gal, like they've got an hour and a half to figure it out. That's not really challenging to the sporting elements, to pressure, to calculation, to nerves, to adrenaline. I like an idea where we can get into a rapid world where we have high-level chess with a product that maybe is a little more dramatic. That's what I'm talking about. That is not a product that is trying to compete with FIDE. It's not a product that has any intention to pretend to displace the current chess ecosystem, but it's a product I believe in. And it's a product that I think people would love to come and see. And I was there at chess boxing in LA when one of the hypest moments of chess boxing, for those of you who don't know, was not the boxing. It was the moment where you were watching Disguised Toast and the eval bar shot up and fans were going nuts because they saw checkmate on the board. I am guilty of believing that chess can be a live spectator sport. And one of my biggest dreams and goals is to drive toward that. So, Chess.com does believe in a future of live events with fan experiences that are awesome and are different than the traditional chess viewer should come to expect. So that is what we believe in, and that is something we're going to continue to do everything we can to bring to you. And on that note, without any further ado, let's talk about what we are doing toward the end of the year, because the match is not going to happen with Magnus and Hikaru. What is going to happen? Well, we are going to Toronto. Who made it? Let's remind you of the 8 players who worked super hard this year in the Champions Chess Tour to qualify their way, because one of the most epic things about this event is, as heartbroken and disappointed as I was that the match fell apart, I realized, I am getting Magnus versus Hikaru at least in one live location happening, and that's in Toronto. It's 8 players, which in some ways is actually even more fun, because you get to see Fabi and Ali Reza and Maxime and reigning global champion Wesley So, right? And young upstarts Lazovic and Abdusaturov. So tell me you're not excited about that, right? The truth is, I'm not going to pretend that we're not all heartbroken and disappointed about that, but this is a format that I think everyone is excited to see. It is not going to be a venue that sells hundreds of thousands of tickets, but it is going to be a venue where you can meet some of your favorite creators. So before we get to the fan zone, let's talk about the talent that's going to be there. The commentators that will be working on the Champions Chess Tour final are myself, Levi Rosman. He will be joining me in Toronto. We've got Kaya joining us in Toronto. We've got Canty joining us in Toronto. And then we're going to have the crew in Oslo that you're used to and that you know and love. You've got Tanya, you've got David, you've got Hess. I think you've got more. But you've got a massive list of talent bringing you the finals, which is going to be a very long event. Is it a world championship of 3 weeks? No. But it's also not a couple days. This is going to be an epic event with talent every day that you want to see. And then last but not least, we should talk about what we are going to do on site. And shout out to Canty in the chat. What's up, dude? I see you there. Let's do it. Let's announce it. We are going to have limited availability for a fan zone meet and greet where you will have an opportunity to meet not just players, but your favorite stars, 2 of them homegrown Canadian stars. They will be the official hosts of the fan zone, but you will also be having chances to interact with me, with Levi Rosman. Again, the players will be making appearances. Anyone who knows Magnus is friends with Eric Hansen. Don't be surprised if he's hanging out late, maybe later than he should, because Magnus, hey, you've got a game tomorrow. Maybe it's versus Hikaru in the grand final. Magnus, get to bed. You shouldn't still be awake, hanging out and drinking with fans, but you are. I don't know that these things are going to happen in Toronto, but I know that we're going to have a blast. And the Chess Bros are going to be the official host of the Chess.com fan zone at the Champions Chess Tour final. So it's going to be awesome. No, it is not Vegas, and it is not everything that we had in store for the match, but it's going to be our first foray back into the fray. I just said foray and fray. Wow. into live events. This is really the first live event where we brought fans and sold tickets. Since the Pro Chess League finals we did in San Francisco, and that was pre-pandemic. That was pre-Chessboom. So that's going to be epic. And there you go. That's what we're doing. And if you want to join the fan zone, you should probably actually figure that out. Although we probably need to figure this out because as I'm saying this, I know that we have limited seating, and I just realized we may have opened a can of worms, so we got to figure this out. So, but you can join us. You can join us. I see people commenting on my red skin. I do. I'm very passionate, and frankly, I'm pretty disheartened about what happened with the match. I dare say the word devastated, because I'm giving you the version that doesn't make me cry. I literally cried when we canceled the match multiple times because it was something that, as I told you the full story, I had been working on really in my head since the acquisition process started. So I was very passionate. I didn't want to go into the unnecessary rated R details because the truth is it was hard for all of us. We put a lot of effort into it. So I get red skin when I told you guys I get sensitive skin. But I'm very excited about Toronto. Magnus-Hikaru, the crew, we're going to have an awesome event. And don't be surprised if neither Magnus or Hikaru wins that, by the way. I know it's like you always say, like, Magnus and Hikaru, and of course, on the heels of me talking about what happened with the match, you look at those two as the favorites. But Wesley So won the last time we were there, right? In Toronto. And Ali Reza Farouja wasn't there. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is suddenly playing the type of chess that had us predicting that he might win the candidates that was broken up by the pandemic. For those of you who want to go way back and look at mine and Robert Hess's commentary, we felt that MVL and Danny Rensch were probably the favorites coming in. Of course, Yana Pomnishi stole the show. So here you got Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and of course, don't get me started on everyone else, right? Fabiano Caruana back up of 2,800. So this is going to be awesome. The Champions Chess Tour Final. I probably shouldn't bang the drum. That probably isn't good for the mic. I apologize for your ear, right? So, yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, let me quickly touch on the fact that we're going to talk about this more. You don't have to delete someone talking about OnlyFans, moderators. That was funny. As long as they don't get specific about the content they view on OnlyFans, I got your back, Burrito Salad. You are allowed to mention Danny's OnlyFans. Because here's my theory on that. Unless they're actually talking about the content, if anyone watching this show who's underage knows what OnlyFans is, that is either their parents' problem, which I'm allowed to say because I'm a dad of 4 kids, or it's a them problem, right? It's not my problem to govern where you go on the internet or talk about, and that's how I navigate the role model thing as someone who talks to his kids very openly and transparently. So it's okay. You're allowed to talk about the fact that you wish I had an OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. All right, here we go. We're gonna get into this a little bit later, but 2 things about Toronto that are also going to be different than what people expect. One, it is going to be played over the board. So this is the first event where Chess.com has brought its might. If you talk about the good things Chess.com, the haters who are here, I love you anyway. But let's talk about the good things Chess.com does, right? The scale of the global chess community, right? The online infrastructure that allows multiple stages of qualifiers, gives opportunities to your Lazovics, your Abdusaturovs, your young upstarts who maybe would have had to wait years before they got invited to Tata Steel in the old world chess, right? The good thing Chess.com is doing, before we get into cheating and things we're going to talk about later on and save all your criticism, but there's no denying millions of dollars exist in an online, scaled, global infrastructure ecosystem that is freaking awesome for professionals and then brings them to live locations. What we did last time was we played at a live location on the computer. Why? We were actually still suffering from COVID, even just last year. And we couldn't get all the players with Canadian visas to the same site. And so we played esports style. Nothing wrong with that. Playing on a computer is also great, even if it's live, right? That's esports style. But this year, we're playing over the board. And to me, this represents, as we're talking about Danny's dreams today, apparently that's what the show's about. The match fell apart, so heartbroken dreamer over here. But one of the other dreams we have is that online chess is not put in a box as not being epic, elite, or with highest stakes. We have 8 players who qualified in an online system playing an over-the-board, rapid, sexy chess with the shots you love for $500,000, which is as big of a prize fund as the Candid the last time I checked. So we have online chess delivering epic and elite stakes live in Toronto with a fan zone. How excited are you for that? So that's one thing that's going to be different from Toronto. The other thing is we are going to continue to institute higher levels of fair play measurements than are currently being instituted at a lot of over-the-board events. And we're going to get into this in the fair play section. But, many of you watching this show, right, you follow the controversies. Magnus talking about the watch and Cutter, talking about events that are still being run without stream delays, which, again, for the life of me, why FIDE would run the World Cup without a stream delay or why others aren't doing it is beyond me. Not because any accusations of cheating are being made, but because it's not hard to do. It is literally takes chances of cheating from here to here, just alone by eliminating any potential for a second gunman. And before we talk about the other places we're going to invest with what I believe should also be an increased level of security from the RFT scanners, radio frequency transmission, and other things, I just want you to know, if and when Chess.com brings its events to over the board, we are going to put our money where our mouth is and invest heavily in expensive security, and it's what we're doing. And I really believe that every organizer should do it. So consider it a public service message if you want. But it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why this issue isn't being taken seriously in over-the-board chess. As an international master, forget about the Chess.com seat. I'm actually wondering when top players are going to start refusing to play unless there's a stream delay and unless they agree to the security protocols that they all kind of know should be done, regardless of jewelry and devices or other things. And so, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. At this point, it's probably on the top players to actually lead with their actions before the event rather than during it. But Chess.com's Champions Chess Tour Final will have advanced things I'm not even supposed to say. They've told me, don't say that you're doing this type of detection. I'm like, okay. I'm like, why? That's not my style. But they're like, don't, because there are different ways to block signals, whatever. But the fact that we're doing a delay combined with it makes me have no worries, but I'm still not going to say it because I've been asked very few things in my life. Danny, you can't talk about this over this. I'm like, fine. I won't. But we're doing really advanced detection. Okay? That's what we're doing. And I'm checking where we're at. That's what I'm saying we're doing. So, we have talked about so many things. How was that? Well, someone clipped the thing I said, fine, I won't say that and get us sued. Or make cheaters have an edge on us in over-the-board chess. I won't. I'm tantruming. This is me tantruming. Taking a sip of my AG1 bottle, which doesn't have athletic greens in it, even though they are one of our sponsors. It's got vitamin C in it, vitamin C powder, because it gets into your system much faster than the pills. Take vitamin C powder. I'm still sick with COVID. To the Batcave. Now we're going to talk about 2024 events. We have set the tone. We talked about what happened with the match. We talked about what's going to happen in Toronto. Let's do a quick preview of 2024, because if this segment started with the devastation and the heartache, which was the match being canceled, and then the preview of the tour finals, I want to continue to build on the positive momentum and roll past December 2023 into 2024 and tell you what we're doing next. So, on that note, take it away, Maestro. The 2024 Champions Chess Tour is going to be moving from 7 total, including the live final, to 5 total. So we are shortening the season by 2. You see the dates in front of you right now. We've actually worked pretty hard to let the players know that, to already coordinate against things like B-Day schedule, Grand Chess Tour, because we don't want to compete. And on that note, we are still keeping formats that the players love, the things that are merit-based, the meritocracy that is Chess.com will continue, that every GM has a chance to get into an event with massive prizes. We are increasing the total prizes per event. So, because we actually went down from 7 total events to 5 total events, we're actually increasing the overall prize money available for every player competing in each event. This means more prizes for Divisions 2 and Divisions 3 winners. It also means we're adding some other prizes, which I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but potentially some women's prizes and junior prizes, and we're continuing to invest in all the different ways to make sure that there is a diverse opportunity for everyone to win cash, because we do believe in diversity. So I'm super excited about next year. It's going to maintain the meritocracy. We're going to have bigger prizes for every event along the way. We are going to have a live finals, and we're going to maintain the $500,000 prize fund at the end, which is what we're doing here. The qualified players placed in 3 divisions is actually, it's a very highlighted segment to say there is a format adjustment that's been made. those of you who really care will know and learn about it. It actually is just even better. It's based on feedback we got. I'll highlight it really quickly. A lot of the players gave us feedback that it was too much to have the play-in and a knockout in one day. That is a grueling day. We are now making the play-in, and then you take a break, and then we get to have epic freaking match day. All the players who qualify on camera in match format. So you will get the best of the things you love about players on camera in knockout formats on day 2 of the play-in stage. We're also clarifying some of the ways a player can qualify from Division 3 to Division 2 to Division 1, which is better storytelling and makes it easier for you, the fan, to care, so that when you're watching Division 3, you're like, oh, I give a bleep because this person wins, gets Division 2, and oh, I give a bleep because this person goes to here. So we're actually pretty proud of what we're doing next. So high level, we are downscaling the total number of events, therefore increasing the total number of prizes. We are clarifying qualification storylines to make it easier to understand as a fan and better for the players. And we're maintaining the other good things about it. Live final is going to happen again, more than likely again, unless another pandemic hits, played over the board at the end of an awesome online chess.com can only do it kind of event. And of course, the play-in, as I said, is going from 1 to 2 days. So that's the high level. What's the next slide? Oh my God, it's my favorite slide. I was going to preface this. I went too fast. Okay. We are super excited to announce this. Shout out to Eric, co-founder and CEO, wherever he is. He's out there somewhere making chess dreams come true. He was actually going to go. Well, we'll stay here full screen, and then we'll go back to it. I was going to throw a curveball here at production, but instead, we're going to talk about the Title Tuesday Cup. We are going to expand prizes for Title Tuesday, but in a really fun way that gives us more reason to care throughout the year. We are going to launch for the first time ever a Title Tuesday Cup, which is not a Grand Prix that gets into some other big tournament. It's not designed to make it even more obnoxious with more events going on. This is purely a way to give back and give more to the community. We are adding $100,000 in leaderboard prizes so that throughout the year, for the first time, not just an open prize, but women, juniors, and yes, you're reading correctly, seniors and girls will all be competing for Grand Prix prizes throughout the year. So, when you're watching Title Tuesday and everybody is streaming it, you're also rooting people on for the prizes that they're going to win at the end of the year. And we will talk more about the content we're going to use to cover that so that everyone has a clear way to understand it. But we're super excited about it. This is literally just $100,000 more, a check that we're writing personally out of Hikaru Nakamura's pocket. We're just taking that money from Hikaru and just giving it to the community. Just kidding, Hikaru. Don't get mad, buddy. Love you. Someone clip that and send it to Hikaru for me. No. We are taking $100,000 out of Magnus's pocket. I'm kidding. We're taking $100,000 out of our own pockets, and we are giving it to the community. And I'm actually really excited about the senior prize, because can anybody get excited for the FFL? Hey, Gata, this one's for you, baby. By the way, have you cut your hair yet, Gata? Gatakomsky, everyone. Give him a clap. Love Gatakomsky, and he is now competing for a senior prize. I don't know if Kramnik is old enough yet or if his cheat detection will stand up, but if he wants to, he can also compete for the senior prize. And, any Hooters. So, that's it. We're launching a Title Tuesday Cup. This is the beginning. I want to say a lot of other things. I think this one I can say. This is the beginning of us trying to do even more with what has become the most popular day in chess, Tuesday. And I think a Title Tuesday Cup that gives back prizes allows us to have even more fun with some of the storylines. Make sure that people feel rewarded. So it's not just Hikaru wins all the money every week, right? You've got prizes that are going to be delivered at the end of the year, too. And as that grows, Komsky's in chat? What in the world? I love you, Gata. What's up, dog? What's up, dog? Gata, you should tell the story of how you and I randomly ran into each other at JFK one time, which is the smallest world. We weren't even there for a chess tournament. Just random JFK encounter. Is that the famous bleepin' legend over there? Turns out he is. That was actually before the famous bleepin' legend moment. I think that was before Gata even knew that streaming was a thing. Anyway, shout out to Gatakomsky, one of the greatest chess players of all time, no matter what anybody tells you. Competed for world championship titles, and he's the man. There you go. So we have prizes that are going to be given here, and if this goes well, we'd love to consider more fun ways for the community to get involved and to do things that range from prizes for the community, fantasy chess, and other things. But I don't want to say more because it's going to take a little while before we're out And I think this, unlike other kind of casual fantasy games we do, pick your team for the PCL or whatever, I think this has the potential to really be something special. And that's all I'm going to say. So on that, I'm going to come out of that and just take a quick break and say this show is really just getting started. Wow. We've got one of the big emotional buckets off. The big emotional bucket of the match. I'm looking at the run of show. I feel good about that. Next, we are going to be joined by the team helping to bring you one of the big... We talked about the live event that is the CCT Finals, the live event that we all wanted to happen that didn't in the match. But there's another huge live event happening in the new year, in February, and that is the Chesscom Invitational, which, again, many people watching this should not be... or maybe you should be. I mean, like, if you're under the age of 13, you're violating Twitch's terms of service. So I have to do the thing where I go like, you shouldn't be watching the show. Like, thanks, Grandpa. Like, and then I'm like, hey, but tell your kids about the show. Also, you're probably here because you're like, why did anyone do this event for me? I don't care if I'm a little kid. I want to go, even if I don't get to play in any of the sections. This just got really wild. But we're going to be right back at the break. Enjoy James Canty breaking down some Chessable, how he studies Chessable. I actually think this is super interesting for those of you who might ever wonder how and why would I want to use Chessable. James Candy's going to bring us that content at the break. Don't miss it. Subscribe real quick before we do it. Throw us your Prime. I'll be right back, and the Chess Kid Festival and all the news that is, followed by the segment everyone is waiting for, which is the Fair Play Anti-Cheating address to Cromnick, to Favi, to everyone. That's coming up. We still got a little bit of show left here. TheStateOfChess.com. We'll be right back.
This right here is how I use Chessable and why. I've been using it for a long time. I mean, if you look up here, I actually have my streak. It says 1,231 days, right? You're gonna forget a lot of the things that are in the book. Chessable came around. When I got on Chessable, it's literally, I was already doing that. So this is now a game changer because I can do it faster. It's online, it's in front of me. All of my books are here. There's gonna be folders now so I can categorize by white, black, and tactics in game. But I literally have everything in one area. As you see, I'm scrolling here. This is what I like to. So they're like, how many Chessable books you got? I'm like, all of them. How I use Chessable is actually, I do a lot for the opening training. I do tactics on here. I do calculation. I do in-game. I do everything but the database. All my training on here all the time. Chessable is the wave. This is why I like to use Chessable. It's actually helped me. I remember even online, I was only like capping out at 2350, almost 2400 in Blitz and Bullet. My Chesscom is 26 with a high of 2774 in Bullet. And I blame all of this, like success, really, it's just working on Chessable. Just being honest with you.
October is here, and so are some familiar faces. Martin learned chess just to play with his kids, and occasionally the family dog. A workaholic, Philip hopes chess will help him relax before he works his fingers to the bone. Laura the librarian loves to learn, and has recently developed a penchant for spell chess. An aspiring influencer and self-proclaimed meme queen, Isla can be a monster on the board when she puts her mind to it. Paul Morphy's undying genius lives on to this day through his immortal opera game. Just your average old bots, nothing else to see here. Play them all on chess.com.
2, 1.
First.
Three, two, one.
Check it out.
First.
Three, two, one.
We are back again. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Chat, you continue to be awesome. The state of chess rolls on. Now we have two very special guests here. We've got the head of Chess Kid, president and CEO, Kulsum Qasim. She is here with us from Toronto. Am I allowed to say that? I guess I just said it. You live in Canada, where we're going with the finals, right? And then we've got the legendary women's grandmaster, multiple-time U.S. women's champion, Jennifer Shahade, joining us. Thank you both for being here.
So happy to be here.
Kulsum, I guess I just said that you're from Toronto. So now everyone knows you're...
I was going to say that, who taught you to say Toronto? Because I feel like you're a local, Danny. So bravo. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I practice my accents pretty regularly. It's one of the things I do in my downtime. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, we're obviously not here to talk about the Champions Chess Tour finals. If anyone just missed that, we talked about it. We're talking about the other biggest event that we've ever done with Chess Kid. We're thinking this is going to be one of the most amazing festivals. It is a festival, not just a tournament, that's ever happened for American Scholastic Chess, or really global Scholastic Chess. You can come from anywhere. And here to talk about it with me are both Jen and Colson. So, Colson, I'm going to throw to you first.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited. So excited to have everybody join us. I'm actually personally really excited about this because, to your point, Danny, it's a festival. It's going to be lit. It's going to be amazing. It's not going to be the boring, where parents are kind of waiting in the lobby, waiting for their kids to finish their game. There's going to be something for everyone here. So it's on February 16th and 19th, President's Day weekend. No excuse not to come. It's a long weekend. So, we expect a lot of people coming. And I'm super excited to have guests such as Jen, Levy Rosman, Gotham Chess, and many others that we can get into join us for this fabulous event.
I love it. Jen, on that note, obviously you're one of the celebrity guests, and we're going to talk about fun stuff you're doing there, but you're also like me, someone who grew up playing in Scholastic Chess events in the US, and you probably have a lot of thoughts and a lot to say about what is it about this event that has you most excited, that you think might be different than other Scholastic Chess tournaments that kids are used to?
Well, I was a really excited Scholastic Chess player, especially when I got to go to travel abroad or to travel within the United States, and especially stay at a hotel and hang out with other chess kids. That was just like something I would look forward to for weeks. But the tournament schedules were often so grueling that it was like a lot of serious chess and then maybe not as much fun as I wanted. But this chess festival, I think, really kind of brings both out. And I think that's beautiful for chess kids. I think for kids who are just getting into the game, you want that balance. You want them to play serious chess, but then they should get a chance to play Bug House and meet their favorite players and just chill a little bit more. I love the concept.
I love it too. In fact, I can speak to that personally because Bug House was never played because the schedule was so busy. So we always had to play Bug House late into the night, which was never a good thing, right? If you were doing it Friday or Saturday, you were hurting your tournament chances. And so I love that note you mentioned on the Bug House activity. But Colson, back to you. I'm going to scroll through the site as you talk a little bit about this. What are some of the other activities? I'm gonna just kind of scroll through as we're talking about it. And we mentioned Bug House. That's a chess activity. What are some of the other fun things that we're doing?
Think about the most funnest, best festival you've been to. That would be face painting, balloon artists, hula chess, national puzzle competitions. Of course, we want to also put Fun Master Mike on the spot and do funny things with him as well. So imagine all of that together while you're doing the best thing that you like doing, which is playing chess.
Hula hoop here.
Amazing.
I do have to bring in my hula hoop here.
Oh, there we go. We've got Jen doing hula hoop stuff.
And
even
I could, yeah. What's that? I don't think we set up the cameras for this, but I think it'll work. You get rid of the chair. Here we go. You guys keep talking. Here we go.
We haven't had this much
now
live.
I actually have to play chess. I don't know if I wanted to play blindfold right now.
Are you gonna play a hula hoop simul? Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, only if Mike Hine plays it tandem. So Mike's not here right now, and his punishment is that he's signed up for a tandem simul hula chess with me. That's what he gets for not coming, right?
And we should increase the stakes and say that if he every time he fails at the hula hoop, he has to do something else, or it's one more minute he's going to spend inside the giant Peshka costume. Because people know the giant green pawn costume, but people don't know the giant Peshka costume, which will make an appearance, right, Colson?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, so we also are having a tournament that is, going to be a national Scholastic with sections and players from all over, right? So it's the first time we're doing this, but the prizes that we have, I guess I have the site so I can answer it, but what was your goal with the prizes, right? We're rewarding more than just a few top 15 players in each section, and just talk about your thoughts on the competition itself, Colson.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing 6 rounds, time controlled around 2.5 hours per game. We're going to compete, players are going to compete around 5 sections. We'll use Swiss system rules to pair them. And of course, there'll be individual prizes as well as team prizes. We really want kids to come show up with their friends, with their teammates to compete in this and make sure that it's a win for all. So a lot of those things, medals, fun, swag, all the things that you can think about.
Jen, I want to come back to the fact that I, in prep for before we started this section, the ever transparent stateofchess.com show, I was like, all right, like we're breaking down different things. I know Gotham's going to do a book signing, and then I blanked on the fact that you're obviously doing a book signing too. So shout out to Levy Rosman, who will be there doing a book signing. But talk a little bit about your new book and the book signing you're going to be doing there, and maybe talk a little bit about your book and being excited to give away some signed copies on site.
Absolutely, super excited. First, though, I see a lot of chat about hula chess in the chat, and it's not random, guys. The reason that hula chess is a thing is that you can actually hula chess and play chess at the same time, so you can really get your workout. So I'm going to be doing that. And then as for the books, I am going to be signing Chess Queens. That's more geared towards the moms and dads and coaches who are there. And then I also have a new book that I'm super excited about called Play Like a Champion. As a kid, I loved puzzle books. And this is a puzzle book that I've been working on for quite a while. It's actually partly inspired by my son, my 6-year-old son, Fabian. And Fabi will be playing in the Chess Kid Festival. He's signed up. He's very excited. And, I wrote an earlier chess book about 10 years ago called Play Like a Girl. And, lots of boys and girls have read it. But my son said, Mommy, why not play like a champion for your next book? Because, just because the chess tactics in this book are by women doesn't mean that it's only for girls. So that's kind of the concept behind the book. And it's just my way of having a lot of fun with my favorite part of chess, which is the tactics and the puzzles. And I have to give a shout out really to Chess Kid and chess.com and, all the chess training tools that are out there. Because one of the things I really noticed when writing this book was that people's tactical fluency has gone way up in the last 10 years. So I had to really up the ante and make the puzzles a little bit more difficult than I would have in years past. And I'm super excited to meet kids and share this kind of labor of love that I've been working on in really throughout all of 2023.
Awesome. And I love the shout out to the puzzle fluency because I guess doing the math on that, that's probably true, right? People have way more access to puzzles than they did back when we were just opening chess puzzle books, right? So for sure, that's amazing. You're going to meet Jen. Let's remind everybody of other stars they're going to meet in Charlotte because we've mentioned, of course, a few times Gotham and Jen, but also Funmaster Mike will be there. Danya Naroditsky, native to Charlotte, for those who on Twitch know very well. Canty will be there, and I will also be there. I should consider. So if you're bringing Fabi, I got to consider bringing Talia to this thing. Now I got to sit here and talk to my wife about whether we can pull that off, because that would be a thing, right? That's what we should do is bring the kids and have them play. But Colson, before we dive into that one more time, give your thoughts real quick on what it's been like to work with the Charlotte Chess Center. Give them the shout out. They are our official sort of hosting and helpful boots on the ground organizing partner. And how awesome is it to bring this event to Charlotte and work with them?
Yeah, they're such a high quality over the board tournament organizers. There's no question about that. We needed to partner with somebody that had that skill set and bring our fun to their kind of overall view of over the board tournaments to really make this that balanced event. And so we're really excited to partner with them. And Charlotte is just an amazing place. The convention center where it'll be, it's massive. We're going to have so much space for kids to be able to do all the fun things as well as play the game. So we're really excited. And Danny, actually, I was thinking we signed up Mike for something like Jen took it upon herself to sign up Mike for hula hoop, which I think is fabulous. I feel like we need to sign you up for something live.
I don't like where this is going. But so, I don't know what it would be.
We'll open it up to the chat. Maybe the community has some ideas on what Danny should be doing at the Chess
All right,
Kid.
Bring it, chat. You have a few minutes. By the way, I did see a comment from chat asking whether Chess Kid would also stream to YouTube, which is just a good live on-air conversation for us to have, Colson. Why don't we stream Chess Kid to YouTube when we do the Funmaster Mike shows? Why do we only go to Twitch? I actually literally don't know the answer to that. Is there a YouTube reason?
I think because Chess Kid is for kids. and YouTube audiences scale differently in terms of ages. We can look at YouTube Kids. Actually, that's something I can follow up and come back.
Okay. Yeah. That is true. Which means that whoever's asking that question, if you're not old enough to be on Twitch, again, that's between you and your parents. But okay, back to the event activities. Let's go there. Speaking of being between you and your parents, so Jen, we're going to look at the event activities. You're bringing Fabi for sure. So I can go home and tell you that.
Yes, please do. He's playing in the K1 championship. He's in first grade, and I just am so excited. I mean, those events are so fun. These kindergarten and first grade tournaments, because, the players are just enjoying themselves. It's often before they sometimes cry when they lose, sure, but they just have such pure joy from the game, Danny, at that age.
I mean, I still cry when I lose. I cry when matches don't. I cry all the time. So there you go. Nothing wrong with that. But okay. So there we have the event activities. You've got tournaments. You've got Bughouse and Blitz, and a more regular Bughouse and Blitz experience and other things. Of course, puzzles and other workshops and VIP experiences and more. So, Colson, you have the floor. Obviously, I know this is something that's been a huge labor of love for you and for Mike, of course, who's not here. Shout out to Giant Peshka. I think he wasn't. Honestly, the reason Mike dropped out is because my Diamondbacks are playing in the World Series and his Braves lost to the Phillies. So Mike literally couldn't face me on camera. We are two baseball nerds. And I'm just gonna. There you go, Mike. That's the reason you're not here. But go ahead, Colson. You have the floor on any final words here.
Yeah, no, I just, this epic lineup of all of the individuals who are so excited to grow the game of chess for kids is so exciting to see. You have all of your kind of major players here, and thank you to Jen for being at the event, but also being here with us today. It's going to be something you've never experienced before, and you're going to wonder, why the heck didn't we do this before? And so that's exactly what we're trying to create, that vibe. VIP tickets and regular tickets are on sale right now. VIP tickets are going fast, as you can imagine. That comes with a whole VIP experience with Gotham Chess, with Jen Jihadi, with all the other VIP people that we have joining us. So if you are interested, and if you're interested in bringing your kids or any kids in your life, please sign up. It's in February, so it seems far, but not too far from now.
Can I make a request at the event while we're live on camera? I'm just going to hit you with this live, but can we do a puzzle B? Like an actual puzzle B where we start qualifying kids now and we get them on a stage and you give them a puzzle and they have a certain amount of time to solve it, and it's like elimination. If you get one, you're wrong, out, like a spelling bee, and we do a puzzle bee. Can that be an event that we do? We would probably need to online qualify some people now, but then, and Jen could be in the puzzle bee because she loves puzzles, and the winner gets an extra special edition of her book and then many other prizes and swag. What do you think?
We can absolutely figure that out, Danny. I need to see you on stage as well. We got to put you up against the kids with the puzzles. I think that would be amazing.
I think we should, and there are so many kids that are just better puzzle solvers than all of us. So that's a great idea. I love it. And obviously, we've got prizes we're going to think up for the puzzle B, but reminder that we've got tons of other prizes and swag as well. I know I thought we were giving final words, but I had that idea, and a good reminder that we've got one more thing to shout out, which is we're doing all kinds of fun stuff and fun giveaways. So again, you'll be there. If you have kids, you'll be there. If you are a kid, we will see you there, and make sure you're doing great on the internet. And that's it, Jen. Jen, you'll be in the puzzle B with me, right?
Absolutely. Danny, did you really just come up with that right now?
I had that.
Did you really come up with that right now? Here's
why I thought I did come up with it right now, but it is an idea I had before. In fact, it's an idea that we had as far back as 2010 when we first started doing the Chess Kid booths at the USCF Nationals, which are great, right? And shout out to the USCF. And Chess Kid first started showing up, me and the Pink Hamster and the Playful Squirrel, David Pruitt and David Petty. Shout out to them. And we were doing this, Jen, by far the most popular thing besides going over games was kids solving puzzles live. And we started putting together our own little competitions, right? All right, you can't dominate the iPad. You get to solve puzzles until you're wrong. That was kind of the thing, so we could move along the line, right? And we came up with the idea in that process, but I have not thought about this idea in years. So I did just come up with it right now, but it's not an idea that is original. We thought about it years ago, but it's a great one, right? Puzzle Bee. That's like a documentary, like a puzzle bee. Let's do it.
All
right.
Yeah. I love it because I love puzzles. And I also, as somebody, as you know, I want to get more women and girls into the game. I have noticed that sometimes girls and women like to compete against themselves. They want to get more puzzles right. They want to beat their score. Some boys too, of course. And I think that with chess, like my mission is to make it so that there are more ways to win. You know, you can be awesome at blitz, you can be great at bug house, and you can be great at puzzles. And we should celebrate all forms of success in chess.
I think you made a great point for
right.
all the reasons.
Well, we're gonna have to play heads up in this puzzle bee. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll be waiting for you.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Seriously. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Colson and Jen. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. It is a Monday, and I'll see you both later. And we're going to continue to roll on here.
Thanks. Bye.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
That really is great. And I love Jen's point about some people enjoy competition, but they don't want to play against an opponent, or maybe not early on they don't, right? And so the idea of more ways to win, stakes that you can compete for a very serious prize, right? And you maybe aren't facing off against an opponent might be more interesting for young girls, right? Or for young boys, or for anybody. And I think that part of the puzzles, the gamification of the learning experience that puzzles has brought, where people are excited about getting better, even if they're not competing against another person, is a super important part of chess. And so the puzzle bee is on. We're doing it. We're going to find out. I'm going to put together with Colson and Mike and Jen, we're going to do an online qualification system. We're going to figure out which kids qualify, and then we're going to do this. We're going to do a puzzle bee, and it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. And there you go. And on that note, we are getting set for the biggest segment of the day, the segment you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk about fair play. We're going to talk about cheating in chess. I've already been doing it throughout the day, of course. We will, if you missed it, we talked about our cheat detection at the live Champions Chess Tour Finals. I've already given some general thoughts I have on over-the-board organizers and maybe the lack of proper restrictions and seriousness that is being implemented. But we've got big things to talk about in the online world and a lot of the thoughts and big feelings people have about it. So that's coming up. In the meantime, we were talking about kids, talking about the Chess Kid Invitational, the Chess Kid Festival, excuse me. So here's a PSA from us to the world about what kids should be doing in school. Twist ending, they shouldn't be playing chess while they're in school, but this is a fun video that we shot, and I will be back in 5 minutes to dive right in to the biggest topic ahead.
Everyone loves playing chess, and everyone loves Chess Club. But there's also a time and a place for playing all your favorite games.
Hey, we're trying to have a lesson here. You need to get out of here.
Recently, more kids have been playing chess than ever in school. But sadly, we've learned that they may not always be playing chess at the most appropriate time.
Eh ben classe, aujourd'hui...
While it might be sometimes okay to grab a game between classes, or if your teacher gives you permission and hasn't given you an assignment, it's not okay to be playing chess in school when you aren't supposed to. And chess should never come between you taking your studies seriously and cooperating with your fellow students and teachers. Chess over the board or on the phone is a great way to spend time with friends. But let's make sure that this school year we don't let too much chess happen in the classroom. Focus on your school, because chess.com will always be there when class is over.
Chess is cool! Respect your school!
All right, that was awesome, everybody. Great job.
Look what I did.
Danny, did you spell that?
Yeah.
Can we get some other letters, please?
What's wrong with it?
Just played an exciting game and want to see if you got a brilliancy? Or maybe where you could have improved? Chess.com's game review is just a click away. Game review is a fast, fun, and instructive guided review of your games. See your accuracy and your opponent's accuracy. Check out the eval graph for an instant overview and scroll down to see how many great moves, best moves, blunders, and yes, brilliancies you have played. Learn from Chess.com's coach who gives move explanations, opening statistics, and shows you the best lines of play. With retry mistakes, you can get another shot at finding missed opportunities. Try Game Review today on web, iOS, or Android.
Check it out.
First.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give me the jams. Give me the jams. I love it. I love it. If I was like a DJ, if I was like Andrea Botez or whatever, like. By the way, before we jump into the fair play segment, we had a fun little thing we were gonna do that didn't quite work out, because Eric had to go. He had other meetings because he's apparently running our company right now. But we are bringing you what anyone who follows me on Twitter and Instagram already saw. We are bringing you mittens. Mittens will be a thing you can get. Although if you take a good look at this, you might ask yourself, holy bleepin' F, what have you done with mittens? Is this like Chucky and Mittens had a baby? That's not the Mittens I know and love. What is wrong with this thing? Also, that's not even our logo, right? So this is not the mittens that you're going to get. This was our prototype that didn't make it through everything. But we have mittens. Look at Mittens. So cute. Is Mittens cute or what? Will Mittens be making a return? Will it break the internet again? I don't know. I know that I now have a Mittens, and it is officially the most valuable plushie I own. Don't tell Duo that, because I also have Duo, the owl. My kids use Duolingo every day, right? And of course, I have a green fawn, a solo green fawn. But this is a plushie. That's right. You want Mittens. You know you want it. You know you want it. It's coming at you. It'll be hitting our completely revamped merch store very, very soon. Chess.com has been working super hard and doing a better job with merch, because guess what? We've sucked at merch. Chess.com sucks at merch. Will someone clip that? Chess.com has sucked so badly at merch. Can I even say sucked anymore? Is that in? How many times do you say it before they like officially like bleep you because, I don't know, maybe we're talking about vacuums here, right? The point is, Chess.com has not been very good at merch. We do have some sexy merch, most of it reserved for staff. There are some sexy shirts, but we have not done a very good job at merch. Guess what? That is about to change. Chess.com merch store 2024. Maybe launched in 2023. I don't actually know the date. In a universe, in a world where mittens is merch, it's coming at you. Okay. This is where we do the really smart Ludwig thing and we start fresh as if this is going to be its own YouTube video. It is time to talk about cheating in chess. For those of you who've been under a rock, there's been a ton of stuff happening in the online chess world, including a 14th world champion who has become a self-proclaimed expert on cheating statistics. Vladimir is actually amazing. Shout out to Vlad, and we deeply respect him. Believe it or not, this is not going to be a segment where I'm even necessarily defending Chess.com or making disparaging jokes at the 14th world champion's expense. We respect him and his opinion. We respect Fabiano Caruana, his opinion, the C-Squared podcast. We respect everyone in their opinion. And I want to start off with saying that in this segment, the first thing that really, really matters is giving a massive validation sandwich to everybody who has been frustrated at times with how Chess.com has handled the process of cheat detection. We are going to talk about the data and the accuracy, which it isn't very accurate, and the misguided statements that are being made about how much cheating is happening. That part of it is going to be defended. Okay? That part of it is going to be defended. But right now, we're going to talk about the fact that there's a reason that people have been frustrated. There's a reason that people have felt, if you want to use the term, paranoid. There's been a reason that people have felt like Chess.com isn't doing enough. And that is because what happened over the years is that Chess.com's investment in the process didn't match the transparency and the communication that we were making to the world. And when you add to that the fact that when we initially invested in cheat detection, everyone, it was designed to catch people before they could even play title players. Like, that was what the initial design was, because we were just trying to protect title players. Then here comes Title Tuesday, and early is stakes. But even then, it's like $1,000 once a month, right? So while I would say that the bones of the algorithm, and we've actually been pretty good at what we've been doing for a really, really long time. Have you read the Hans Niemann report and other things that we've done, including earlier in this show? We have not done a very good job of communicating it. Further, I would say that when the stakes have gone up, the stakes are no longer $1,000 once a month on a Title Tuesday. The stakes are now millions of dollars in prizes, combined with people feel like their reputation is at stake when they stream, combined with just general feelings of frustration when title players aren't punished. Because I'll say this, the punishment has not met the crime, or what is the right way for us to say it? Like, we have not properly invested in what is now at stake. And I'm going to acknowledge that, which is the fact that people should not be allowed, Chess.com should not be carrying the chess professional world secrets. It is different if you're a professional player cheating in a prize event versus a random person who maybe just learned chess. And even if you know what you're doing wrong with Stockfish, it is different. If you earned a chess title, you know what you're doing is wrong. You're stealing from fellow chess professionals, period. And you know it because you have a title, even if it's an NM title that took years to earn in tournament. And when you add the fact that we haven't been public enough, arguably, we haven't held people as aggressively accountable as they should be, even if I do believe in second chances, and that's not changing. By the way, every other sport has precedent for second chances. People get caught for PEDs. They're not banned for life. They serve their time and come back. If they do it repeatedly, are they banned for life? Yes, that applies for the Olympics and the IOC or baseball, football, whatever. So we will continue to operate with second chances, but we are not going to continue to operate in a world where we are holding the chess title players' secrets. The strongest players in the world feel like we're not doing enough to protect them. The stakes are going up. And again, the consequences for cheating have not been high enough. On that note, I transitioned to the biggest point of this segment, which maybe is not what you thought it was going to be, which is that many of you actually did notice that we made an update to our legal term on October 26th. In fact, some of the comments we had prepared for this chat were calling it out on Twitter and making statements that obviously refer to the fact that there was a massive lawsuit that recently ended. But the truth is, we've been ready and prepared and eager to make these changes for quite some time. In fact, it was because there was an ongoing lawsuit that we needed to be very patient in that. But I will say this. We need the flexibility, we need the power, we need the strength to do the things that you all want us to do so that we are not constantly running down a bunch of people suing us when they have cheated themselves, right? Because make no mistake, regardless of your view of how the Hans Niemann thing ended, there is no debate about the fact that he did cheat. He admitted to it himself. Now, you can debate about the level of cheating that he admits to or not. Our Hans Niemann reporter him. He was dishonest about it. That's not debatable. Whether you believe our version of his dishonesty in terms of what he did competing in prize events, or whether he just kept it a secret because he didn't want to talk about it. He tried to pull a Lance Armstrong and say that he barely cheated, right? So, but be very clear. What is undebatable is that he cheated and he was dishonest about it. The only thing that's debatable is the level of cheating and his dishonesty. Our version says it one way. His version says it another way. There may or may not be a documentary on this someday that is going to tell another huge part of the story. But what I will say is this. We need the flexibility and the power to run down everything that you want us to do. And if someone cheats and lies and then decides to sue, no matter who they are, we need the flexibility to attack it. So this is not like Chess.com is protecting their ass so that they don't get sued again. This is us acting responsibly because we're growing up as a company and we want to do the things that you want us to do. So, massive validation to Vladimir Kramnik, who's been frustrated, Fabiano Caruana, people who've been frustrated and paranoid at times because of a process that we allowed to get out of control. I am saying this is our fault. And I am saying that we are now investing even more than you would ever think we could. It starts legally, gives us power. Title player cheaters, be warned, because the game is changing and you are not going to have your things kept secret. And I'm going to talk about the different varying of levels of that because that's not a threat, although execution will happen in terms of us acting on what we're saying we're going to do, not any other type of execution. Now moving on to the stats. There's Reddit questions. There's people asking about the stats. I'm going to get into a lot of this with the person who's about to join me. He's our head of community. His name is Casa Corley, and he's awesome. Regardless of everything I just said, and make no mistake, this is all going to be a video that you're already watching on YouTube. Chess.com needs to do better. We are investing in order to allow us to be stronger and more flexible to do better. We have failed in transparency and process, which is what led to the environment that we live in with Kramnik and Fabi and those other people. So there's your full validation sandwich. Now, in the middle of that sandwich is they're wrong about the stats. If you want to look into it yourself, you can look into the independent person, this guy named like Damien or Darian or something who did it. You can believe that we have a signed letter from head of statistics at Harvard that we would use if ever needed to legally that validates and audited our systems. You can look at the fact that no matter what they say, we continue to close title players every month. That doesn't mean that everything I've ever said on this show isn't true. There are people cheating on chess.com and getting away with it. But we are going to catch them. We invest when we think they're cheating. Then we run their other games. We look into their DNA this way. We do this, we do that. We compare, and at some point they will get caught. Many of you who are OGs know that there are people who cheated and won multiple Title Tuesdays before we closed them. And anyone who wants to dive into the Hans Niemann report and see the games, you can, or see the names that we didn't mention. We have done really, really tough closures of some of the best players in the world. This idea that 50% or 20% is so outlandishly absurd, it's not even close. And in fact, as someone who's sometimes accused of being a streamer or content creator first or a hype person first in Hikaru Nakamura, he was actually the most accurate and much closer. If you want an answer, and I'm diving into the Reddit question, we have closed, if you want to look at it that way, roughly 1% of people who have played in Title Tuesdays over time, or cheaters. We think that it's that much. Actually, it's not just Title Tuesday. That 1% applies to like all title games. Probably, we think that maybe around 3%, Hikaru said 4%, may be cheating. Now, that's 3% of either total title player games, not just Title Tuesday, total cash events. But again, that comes with the caveat that we are aware of anything suspicious. We're on top of it. And those people continue to be closed every month. A lot of times, not in a highlightable moment that you saw in a controversial way. We were just doing our job. We're investing and doing our job. So if you look at it in one lane, you can say that's way too high of cheating, 3%. I'm actually thinking, by the way, there are people who disagree with me that it's even 3%. There are people internally who say, no, Danny, it's closer to 1% or less. I don't know. But I would say this, even if it's on the higher percentage of that, and you think 3% is too much, here's what I would challenge you. And this is the last end of the validation sandwich. I validate the feelings that you have about us needing to do better. But the moment that all the top 10 and 20 players in the world who live in my DMs want to come forward and say, I would rather, Danny, I would rather you have ruined Ali Reza Farouja's career, who I accused of cheating. You know who you are. I would rather you have ruined Norbek Abdusaturov's career, who I accused of cheating. And I won't go down more lists. I would rather that, because I actually do think closing 3 people out of 100 is a fair thing. I'm willing for you to do that. I'm willing to go full Oxbow incident on this and mob mentality in it. Until you're willing to say that publicly, like, the answer is no, because I would actually argue those same stats protect you, every one of you. We actually are doing a phenomenal job. Anything more than 3% or even 5% is pure paranoia. It is. We're doing an amazing job. And then if you're willing to, kill the innocent, sorry for the bad metaphor, right? Then we'll have a conversation, because until then, everyone else can armchair quarterback their stat view, and we have to act with kindness and accountability, because we have to assume innocence before guilt, regardless of how people view the stats. So, there you go. We are investing. We are kicking ass. Our legal terms are even better. People are not going to lie and cheat and then be able to sue us in the future. And everything that's being said currently about our stats is misguided at best. It's just wrong. Talk to real statisticians and look at the math and the data we're doing, as well as the manual stuff that really is very hard when it comes to catching title players for cheating. We're going to talk about some of that as much as we can. And with that, I end my scene. I drop my mic. We end this YouTube video. By the way, Mittens Doll, you can get it if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'm going to take a very quick break, about 90 seconds, as we play a really funny video, because Casa Corley and I had a really good time catching up with a bunch of member messages they send us about cheating, as we get Casa on the show, and I will be right back.
I got a mail from one of the in your company, named where he accused me of cheating and sandbagging. Can you please elaborate? Where was I gonna cheat with the lower rating? Can you please tell me which tournament I was going to participate with a rating of 1,600? Can you guys please analyze my chess games? Can you tell me I am a cheater, you piece of Do you think I am this dumb to lose all the rating to get highlighted? I was frustrated. You guys top IT all. You close my account. Shouldn't you be fired from your job because I think you are with your real and you also murdered someone?
Oh my god.
You want to take that one?
I feel like I probably should, because I was personally called out. I mean, wow. Sandbagging is also wrong. It is also wrong, and there are tournaments where people win prizes because they drop their rating and then they move up the ladder. So, respectfully, and great choice of words, even with the personal attack, I gotta be honest, that was great. And you made me laugh, and they say laughing keeps you young. So thank you. Thank you, good sir.
Sometimes in life, you need to use discretion, and this maybe was one of those times where the words you put on the page were not ideal. That being said, again, sandbagging is a form of cheating. There are class prizes all over the board and online that we disperse to people that earn them, and it's a huge part of chess development to win class prizes and feel good about playing against people around your level. And when you sandbag or you purposely lower your rating to get a prize in some way, you sour the experience of a lot of other people. So we just can't have that.
We are continuing here, as I love seeing chat's discussion. We got even more to get into, because I set the tone for some of the things we're going to discuss. And now International Master Casa Corley, our head of community, who you just saw in that video, is going to dive into some of the details that I guess provide the evidence or back up some of the higher level statements I made. But Casa, are you excited to talk cheating and fair play?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's important for us to kind of get the word out and let people know what's actually happening. And admittedly, we haven't always been as transparent as we're going to be today. And so I think it's something that, folks will welcome, and hopefully it'll be the start of something we do even more regularly.
Cool. Well, you heard all the things I said at the start. And as we say, I think often the state of chess gives a little bit of, people watching nerves, not because we're worried about saying anything legally, but because I want to be accurate. I want to be maximum transparent. But when it comes to this particular topic, it's such a heavy one that when you get the full truth and then we dive into the algorithms, it's kind of hard because you all know heading in, we are not going to reveal the black box of our algorithms, not full stop anyway, right? We just can't. And even as I see comments in chat that say there's no way they can detect cheating in individual moves by engines, and you'd be surprised what we can do in short amounts of data in individual games. So, but on that note, let's jump in. I'm gonna kind of get through this first high-level slide, Casa, really quick, because it just reminds people of why it is we do what we do. And I already talked about this a lot, which is we obviously care a lot about fair play because we are doing major events with millions of dollars in prizes, right? And that continues to go up. We have analysts and proctors who are working in those events to make sure that play is clean. We've talked about that many times, but the proctoring itself and the measures we're taking in real time are seriously backed up by the DNA evidence, as I've always called it, the CSI for chess. And on that note, I'm going to let you take it away at the start. This is really the big topic people want to know. Casa, in the best way we can without getting into all the algorithms, but doing our maximum transparent, as you said yourself, more than we ever have, why is accuracy not cheat detection?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it's something that's been a real part of the chess zeitgeist and discussion of who plays well and who doesn't play well. Admittedly, when we actually, look at games and even stuff we share on social or commentators talk about, it's like, wow, so and so had 97% accuracy, or so and so had 95% accuracy. And it's something we've seen publicly discussed among strong players to kind of as a way to kind of determine, oh, this person might be playing a little bit too well. Well, frankly, the accuracy scores are, as they're actually, the acronym CAPS is Computer Aggregate Precision Score. It's actually really a metric that we created to help beginners actually get a better sense of how they were doing in their games and get really good feedback. And it's not at all a part of what we do in cheat detection to determine whether someone is playing fairly or not. So you actually have to look at that metric a little bit more casually if you're someone that is trying to glean performance. And so
this is going to be the first mind-blowing thing. Sorry, I'm going to double down on what Costa just said. Accuracy and caps is not even a line item in our cheat report. Let that sink in.
Not at all.
Not even a line item.
Not at all. And I think it's a really important thing to point out. And, you can basically see this on screen, but accuracy calculations actually run on low depth. So, when you see very quickly after the game, brilliant moves, good moves, blunders, these are things that are done, basically on a quick analysis. And it's not at the level we would even feel comfortable with to really make a serious case for someone that is playing fairly or not. So please discard this as a tool to determine fair play and use it more as a tool for, beginners essentially to get a better sense of how they did, because, a lot of people that are just getting into the game, they want really good feedback, and it's not the right feedback for cheating.
I'm going to add just a couple quick points. We're going to move on from this, and I see a question in chat I am going to address actually about Hans Niemann's tweet and the Levy Rosman response. I want to say again, this was a tool we invented because when you tell someone in the beginning of chess that you're 1862 rated, they go, out of what? They literally say, out of what? And we solved this problem or recognized it as the company that has worked very hard to grow the game. Hate us or love us, right? This is where we are. And it didn't make sense to people, but to tell them you scored something out of 100 is a universal thing, right? It's like an A or a B. So when you do that, obviously you are comparing yourself to something which is some version of a computer, but for 99.999% of chess, and I always find it funny, Casa, because the same people who are very serious chess enthusiasts or chess coaches online who've been critical of the cheating or been critical of caps for their students and saying, hey, I wish my students didn't care so much about it. I agree with them, but then those are the same ones who then like are sometimes on the bandwagon saying that it is saying cheat detection. You know that it's not designed to be cheat detection because of everything Casa said. It's run at local depths, right? It's based on engine strengths that are constantly kind of changing because on the note of the Levy and Hans thing, Hans' accuracy in that game were actually different depending on where you ran the site. Levy actually used a screenshot on Twitter from Leechess, which is because Leechess uses Stockfish 14 and it showed Hans is a little more accurate. And I asked Levy about it. He's like, I thought it was better for the content to do that. But Chess.com's game review is actually done on Stockfish 16. So shout out to Leechess. You need to update your system. My point is right there. Yet here's a conversation, Casa, that is leading to a ton of emotional investment, a ton of paranoia bandwidth, and the very measurement tool that people are basing it off of is not only different depending on the sites. One of them is currently less accurate than the other because Stockfish 14 not as strong as Stockfish 16. They're run on low depth. Some are run on cloud. Some are run this. So we get an emotional environment that is supercharged when the data point itself is inconsistent at best. It's inconsistent at best. And it also doesn't take into regard, I think our next slide shows that. Oh, no, it doesn't. So I'll say the last thing then. It also doesn't take into regard the strength of your opponent. And I know that's a slippery slope. I'm not going to do the thing and start getting into our algorithm, Casa, but talk a little bit about that because it also does nothing to measure whether the positions were difficult, whether you played a bunch of opening moves. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and dance around this as diplomatically as possible. But essentially, the strength of your opponent is not taken into consideration. The difficulty of the position is not taken into consideration. And I saw something in chat about, well, why do you use it on broadcast and so on? Well, honestly, the vast majority of the folks that are basically following chess that we and shows that we produce have not been in the game for 10, 20 years and have this, supreme understanding of evaluations. And it's a really, really good benchmark for, frankly, beginners to get into the game and understand what's going on. And so we're always really sensitive to really framing, games and the experience for the vast majority of people that are tuning in.
That's a good question. Why do we use caps on the commentary? Because for the same reason, commentary is meant to reach the masses, to provide exciting insights and looks at what the top players are capable of. And it's a scoring system that is easily understood by anyone who's watching. And it is accurate to a certain degree. That's what Kronmik goes, like, again, it's accurate up to a point. It's a fun snapshot way to look at the quality of a chess game being played, and it's entertainment. That's what it is. It's educational, it's exciting to feel good about a game, and it's entertainment with context that most people can understand. That is why it's on the broadcast. Thank you. It's a very good question. All right, go ahead. Our team size. We've also invested a ton. I talked about the legal. Let's talk about the team and what you want to highlight from this one here.
Yeah, certainly. I am actually one of these team members, I should say, right? Like I joined January 1st, and the Fair Play team is actually now over 30 members. So we've invested quite heavily in, analysts and proctors and people that conduct research to help our tools become better. And that's something that I think, again, we don't always talk about, but it's important. Other thing is closures. Again, there were about 1 million accounts closed and 100 title accounts closed through October 2023, and that seems like a gigantic number. But when you consider how many accounts are on our platform, look, we're over 150 million members. 1 million is less than 1%. And so when you consider that, it actually kind of puts in a little bit more perspective that the problem is not as ubiquitous as folks would make it out to be. Furthermore, again, we have closed over 100 title players. That's 1% of the 10,000 players on site. So when you have that, you take that snapshot in context. It's something that we wish there were no players that were cheating. Admittedly, when the stakes are higher and folks are want to do well, sometimes bad things happen, and we're really on top of lowering those numbers, frankly. So. Again, just putting some things in perspective is really important.
Well said. Nothing to add, Your Honor. We've already been investing in fair play protocols that look different than, we'll call it pre-cheating scandal 2022, or really not even that. Really we started spending a lot more money, honestly. on prize events and needed to invest. But I'll let you take us through some of this stuff. I think some things here, Casa, people know we're doing. Other things, maybe they don't appreciate how much of it, or I guess why we find it to be so effective. But I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, sure. So obviously in 2023, one of the things I love about, the chess world now is there are a lot more events with, the economy for chess players has definitely grown. And, essentially with more events, there's more prize money, there's more on the line. And so we really we basically make concerted effort to ensure that for every event that there are folks that are on camera, that they, go through fair play protocols. And most of the prize events we have, we require folks to be on 2 cameras. That's very important to point out. One thing that's been a really hot topic has been Title Tuesday and the dynamics in Title Tuesday. And really for the past nearly quarter, essentially, we've basically revamped a system for Title Tuesday where we essentially have dozens of players and calls. And this is not something that everyone knows yet because they might not necessarily have been in a call. But the way to think about it is we basically have folks that are on that, basically have been asked into a call basically because of performance-based reasons or other reasons. And essentially, everyone ultimately will be on a fair play call during a Title Tuesday. So if you're not familiar with it, it's just because you haven't had that experience yet. And I think it's something that's really important to point out. We've had super GMs in calls. We've had folks that are, not super GMs. We've had national masters. And there's just a lot of people in fair play calls now. And it's just important to point out. Now for streamers, we have folks that, basically, have actually been in fair play calls, and we say, look, you can stream and continue to create content, but if you're going to do that and also play the tournament, you got to be emote only. So that's the compromise that we've landed on during an event like Title Tuesday. And then if players aren't compliant with some of these protocols, they're removed from events. So there's a process in place that we've kind of built up where folks join calls before an event starts. We get them set up with proctors. We review games during and after the event, and that way, everyone ultimately goes through the process to ensure and protect the integrity of the event. So, one analogy that I use, and some people might feel some type of way about it, but it really is sort of the way we're doing things now. Is if you consider going to the airport, right, and you're going through TSA. Again, why do we do that? We do that to ensure the safety and security of passengers and to ensure that the experience is as good as it possibly can be. It's the same thing for events now that are that have really serious stakes, is we want to ensure that we give everyone the opportunity to participate in events, but also participate fairly. And that's kind of where we are now in 2023.
That's a good analogy, right? Because TSA is both random and not so random, right? And that's just the truth, right? And everyone has opted into an experience that checks on this stuff. I'm going to add a couple points here and respond to a couple of the more challenging comments, specifically related to some of the thoughts about what we're doing. And we are going to get into a couple of these comments in the next slide. But, in addition to the calls and the increased measures, we do check a lot more things than you would think in regards to audio frequencies and devices, display settings, anything that could be shared. And one thing that the next one I think is going to show that a lot of people don't know, in fact, I had a funny exchange, I won't say with who it was, but one of the top 16 players in the world who was in this year's Speed Chess Championship, at one point in the event, reached out to me and was like, you guys should have the SCC on stream delay. And I'm like, really? You think so? And it's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's been on a 30-second stream delay the entire time and you didn't even know it. Right, because he was making some loose accusations, and even those guys should probably be kinder and more trusting of each other. But he was making some loose comments, and he didn't even know, which shows the product is working, that people can't observe these games in real time anymore. They can't observe them on the play server. You think you can, but it's either on a massive delay or it's completely hidden to observation with an eval bar, and what you're watching on the events is already on a massive delay that's aligned with broadcast. Again, I already made my calls for why I don't know more over-the-board organizers are doing it, because we're doing it for Blitz. In theory, the place where it's hardest to cheat, Title Tuesday, SCC, and then rapid events we do, they have multiple hours of move and are making no effort to delay a stream and really minimal efforts where someone could be communicating as a second gunman. So I saw a comment about headphones, and the comment was made in chat that doesn't matter what you're doing is useless because headphones. That's completely ridiculous and wrong with what we're checking in the audio sources. The fact that it's already on a significant enough delay that the opportunity to communicate relevant information against the best players in the world and lose that much time on the clock, it's not happening. Just watch these players. And so again, I'm here to fight the paranoia. Like that's not a true statement to make, chatter, whoever said that about headphones. I'm sorry. That's not a fair statement. And it's not actually representative of what we're already doing. Most, even the players, didn't even know that they were already on a massive delay. And Casa talked about emote-only mode for streamers. We're going to talk about what we're doing in the future because I don't want to preface too much about the fact that there are some protocols changing, but we've already talked to a lot of the players about this. I mentioned we updated our legal. The next big thing that's coming is we are about to massively update what people are opting in and agreeing to when they compete in prize events. So everyone here who's an armchair quarterback, most of you are actually not title players playing in this, who's either critical of us or believes there's cheating. We're already doing way more than you even think, and we're about to make the opt-in process even more intense, and that's going to be a big part of how we review how many delays we want on stream, whether we're even going to need to require emote only. We might not have to, and I don't want to reveal too much about where we're going, but Casa, your thoughts that we want to touch on in regards to where we're going next year here.
Yeah, first and foremost, I understand this is a work in progress. We've come a long way in a very short period of time in terms of learning various things, tightening our controls, and we spend a lot of time essentially figuring out ways to make the process and the experience efficient for players, that they're not too frustrated with it, but also so that tournaments are played fairly. And there's a fine balance to be struck there that I think folks don't always appreciate. There has been some frustration. Most people that go through, let me put it like this, most people that go through our fair play process for an event like Todd Tuesday have no problems with it. And there are some players, a small minority, that are like, oh, this is so annoying. Why am I being pulled in to a call? Why do I have to have cameras this way? There might be the experience might not be totally ideal to play an event. And right now we've been in a position where we're essentially getting dozens of players in events, but not 50% of the players by any stretch, or the vast majority of players. And in 2024, we're probably going to move to reality where most, if not all, players are in calls in these high leverage events, because ultimately it's just the easiest way to kind of do things from a fair play and monitoring perspective, where the typical refrain is, well, you're not having everyone on camera to date. And we recognize that. And that's something that we are going to look at investing in the future. The other thing I would just add to that is broadcast delays. It is really shocking, but in over-the-board chess to date, that has not been the norm. And Chess.com has actually been really an industry leader in determining what actually constitutes legitimate fair play. So as much as folks kind of can roll their eyes and be like, well, this isn't enough, or what about what are you doing here? What are you doing there? I can just tell you very confidently, there's no other institution or chess organization in the world that has better fair play quality controls than we do, and we're continually to invest in them. So just keep that in mind. I
want to quickly add, I appreciate that. Agree with you. We talked about the delays, the relays. I already mentioned that the SEC player didn't even know they were on delay. But I also do want to give an acknowledgement shout out, because this, whole segment at the top started with validating all the feelings. And I want to say that there was a player who I actually knew when we were kids, and he's public on Twitter and Reddit, so I can say, but Evan Rosenberg was one of the players who recently expressed publicly that he didn't enjoy his experience being proctored. I think Casa made a fair statement, which is that most of the players have had a good experience. They understand it. I think that there's also some fair criticisms. No, I don't think Evan is right that he should be allowed to be mad that if a great performance constitutes being proctored, I don't want to play. That's ridiculous, because we have tons of grandmasters, and you would want anyone else under that too. Yes, if you're performing great, there is a process that we will be going through. But I think the criticisms of some of the ways the environment is controlled, we are investing in technology, because you made a good point. It's really loud when you hear other players' backgrounds. Some players have loud stuff going on, right? That's distracting. There's also sometimes a clunky process, which frankly is hard for our team, because we're trying to manually monitor so many people on camera, and there isn't like a robust software of doing this. People are coming in and out of a call and this and that. So I'm validating that perspective is true, even if I don't inherently agree that a good performance, you don't need to view yourself as having cheated. This is part of a process you would want for anyone else. But the environment itself, the technology itself is receiving massive investments. We're currently in discussions with several potential partners in this area who actually do this stuff for esports and to monitor kids when they cheat at tests, apparently. We're doing everything we can on the technology side. We will continue to be all over it in the way we've already established. But I wanted to also acknowledge that we are pioneers here. We're figuring this out as we go and trying to invest. And as I've said before, we might be losing some mini battles along the way. Some people here think we've made mistakes. We've lost some PR battles before, but we're doing that on the way to winning the ultimate battle against cheaters in chess, and that's what we're trying to do. And also we're doing it while continuing to invest. So that also speaks to the point. So anyway, Casa, go ahead and I'll let you finish this one if you want to hit on any. I think people have had time to read it. Sorry, it's not even on screen for them. But any other things to quickly mention here before we move on to the next slide?
Yeah, I think to date, and again, for the past year or so, even a little bit longer than that, we've basically been doing things in a way where we're for larger events. The larger the event we have, the more challenging it is to ensure that everyone gets through smoothly. So if you imagine, again, back to TSA for a second, if you have like 1,000 people going through security, it's much harder to manage. I mean, we've all had that experience in the airport than if there's like 100 people going through, right? And so when the event has been really large, it's been challenging to create a scalable experience. And that's what the investments we're looking to make in 2024 are going to do, is we're going to be able to have a scalable experience for an event that has 500-600 players like Title Tuesday. Because the challenge right now is getting all those people in a call, have fair play checks that make sense, ask them to do various things and check their settings and not have other tabs open and all these different things. And it's so hard to do that in a short period of time. So scalable solutions is what I would say you can look forward to in 2024.
Scalable solutions. That honestly, sorry, that sounded amazing. We're so not a real business. That sounded so corporate. I just wanted to say it again. Scalable solutions. That's what we're working on. I love it in a good way. It was a compliment. All right, let's move on to what we're doing at the live finals. Because what you said is 100% true. We have to make this scalable because we pretty much are running up against the limit of manual solutions. Casa, I mentioned earlier that we're doing some pretty robust physical stuff as well, things that we believe other organizers should be doing more of. We've recently, even though we proactively reached out and offered a lot of things we learned over the last year and a half, we didn't get as many people asking for us to share it. We recently did get some, and I'm not going to say who, but some top organizers asking us, hey, what exactly were you saying again about this type of detection, or what did that firm tell you? I will say this, we are going to do the same things in Toronto that we did last year, and even more so, along with having a 1-minute full delay on the broadcast, which again, in rapid chess, if you have a theory that a second gunman is helping, borderline not even productive at that point. Your thoughts, Casa, on what plans we are implementing in Toronto, Canada?
Yeah, look, 99% of tournaments that I've played in my life, and I think a lot of folks that have been active tournament players have zero quality controls, and that unfortunately needs to change. And so we're hoping to kind of take the lead here, and essentially we have a really hard job in most instances because we're dealing with online chess where the possibilities are even more ubiquitous than over the board, because you're in your own personal environment. But the Champion Chess Tour Finals, which, as folks know, is going to be in December in Toronto, we're going to have folks are going to be playing over the board, but we're hoping to kind of cultivate the type of a fair play experience that is also something that can be translated to other events. So physical and environmental inspections, right? I know folks want to, play on words here. I see some folks in the chat talking about what that exactly entails. It just entails, again, like almost like wanding and stuff like that, and just making sure that folks don't have anything on their person that is, essentially unreasonable to have. Electronic devices. Obviously there was a story recently in the news is pertaining to, Magnus and, a watch and all these types of things. And it's something where I think a lot of new organizers especially don't appreciate the deleterious effects technology can have on the over the board experiences. So we want to make sure that, again, whatever anyone has on their person is reasonable. And then I think one of the most important levers we have is delay. And so having a 60-second delay on the broadcast transmission, keep in mind, these are rapid games. This is not 2, 3, 4 hour games. So usually the delay is commensurate with the time control and the stakes to a degree. And so, we think this is reasonable for a rapid event. And really, again, this is a part of everything we do whenever we have any chess.com event, is reviewing games and player performance during the event and even after the event. We have really rigorous postmortems where we talk about, how players did or what the games looked like and so on. And this is not something that I think every OTB organizer can manage, hardly, but it's the combination of all these things that you need to have to some degree to be effective. And the beautiful thing about it is when you do these types of things, you also ensure essentially the comfort of the player experience, right? It's very hard to play chess at a high level, and then you're worried about this thing or that thing and all these external variables. And I think that's something even Magnus expressed at the Qatar Open. So these are kind of the things that we're moving toward, and we hope that some folks, some organizers, basically pick up the baton and do it in their own events.
Yeah. Well said. Not much to add. I will again come around to saying how important I think the delay is. I think that it just continues to boggle my mind that there are not more over the board organizers doing it, because regardless of how you might believe in some advanced world that someone has something undetectable on their body, unless they're doing the thing, what was the cheater who built the stockfish into his shoe and could tap Morse code into stockfish in his shoe? So unless someone's doing that, which I don't think they are, inherently, if they have any kind of communication device, no matter where you think this person might be hiding it in their body, I'm just saying rumors have flown around in regards to what people have done, right? Regardless of what you think, there still has to be a communication process. There has to be a way to receive the game in real time, make an evaluation, right? And then feed that info back, when sometimes even computers need time to do it. So without a delay, and I'm 100% confident that 60 second is enough for rapid for it not to affect. And I see, people easy time criticizing that. But who knows? Maybe in a couple of years we'll decide even more of a delay if we just want to do that. But at the very least, some sort of delay should be done for classical chess, and it boggles my mind that it hasn't been. And anyway, we're going to bring that fair play entire segment to a close. And if you didn't know, now you know. But now you also need to know that Casa Corley does more as head of community than just his fair play detection systems. And by the way, shout out to the whole team working on that, because it isn't just Casa, it's the whole crew. Shout out to all of you. But rolling from Casa's role in the fair play department onto the community department, tell us a little bit about what's going on and the fun stuff that people can get involved in.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back for just a moment and give a shout out to all the fair play team. There's a lot of folks way smarter than me doing a lot of amazing work behind the scenes. So, but yeah, one of my favorite things to talk about is actually what's been going on with our community events, and specifically the community club. Now, obviously we have a world of, professional chess players and titled events and so on. But, the chess world's a lot bigger than, the Hikarus and Magnuses of the world. As much as we love the elite level chess, there's way more players, and they also want to play events. And so we've created events, weekly events for folks to get involved in, and they're on screen right now. So Bullet Brawl is actually the community Bullet Brawl is at the same time as the titled Bullet Brawl, essentially, at 1 p.m. Eastern every Saturday, and their membership prizes, so you should definitely give that a go. And my personal favorite right now has actually been Untitled Tuesday, which is, again, they're at the same time as Titled Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. And we actually have 500-600 players playing in these events, and we actually anticipate it will ultimately be the biggest event on site. And so a lot of your favorite creators are starting to get in the mix. again, we have best move prizes, and we really want to acknowledge player journeys of the untitled community as well, because essentially it's way bigger than the titled community, right? We have over 100 million players playing and getting involved in our site, and just making it a fun experience for that contingent as well is key. So go ahead and join the community club. I think hopefully that'll be dropped in chat, and folks can really tune in there. And yeah, it's a weekly slate. And then last but not least, Danny is actually taking on the chess world in another Danny versus the world, where I believe he's making a move every 3 or 4 days at this point. Danny, you got to step it up a little bit. But he was he had some things to take care of recently. But yeah, Danny is playing folks, and essentially you as a community folks can actually vote on moves and give Danny a run for his money. So I'm looking to see what comes of that game. It was a weird Sicilian.
I did that on purpose because I'm trying to get it out of, because I'm not going to work that hard in this game. Let's be honest. I got to get it into some sort of position that has some positional strategic concept that, aren't based on, top opening theory. So I was trying to play a sideline on purpose, but it's going to be fun. Some person asked earlier, if I'm already a Diamond member, what can I win? That's a good question. I think that as we get our merch store in a great space, we are going to try to add more prizes, because we know that some of you are already subscribers to Twitch. We appreciate your support. Super subs on YouTube, we're even starting to get a few of those, which is awesome. And of course, if you're a premium member on chess.com, you literally pay our bills. You pay all of our bills, and we are eternally grateful, as well as a company of more than 700 people now, which is insane to think about. And we're doing so much fun stuff, and we are so excited about the future. So thank you for your premium membership support, but you do deserve other prizes. I think it was Pimendir 93. So we need to figure out other prizes besides premium membership, and we're going to probably get that in shape once our merch store and fulfillment needs are taken care of. So
yeah, 100%. But I'm telling you, you do not want to miss Untitled Tuesday. I've taken a gander, and it is just a lot of fun. Again, there are streamers starting to get involved as well, and people are. It's kind of the hottest club right now. It's very hot. So just get in early, and you might have a great experience.
You could wear that shirt to a hot club.
I actually have a Halloween party to attend in just a little bit, so that's why I'm just ready to go. I even got my I'm a leopard this year. I got my glasses ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
You're looking sexy. I love the shirt. Sorry for my COVID cough is coming back there. But anyway, Casa, this was awesome, and I wouldn't want to play Untitled Tuesday because I don't think I could win that. So I'm not even going to ask if we can make an exception. I'm sure there's really strong players there. So. But Casa, you're the man. This was a lot of fun. Obviously, we're going to continue to do what we do, and you and I will catch up another time.
Till next time, folks.
See ya. Enjoy the Halloween party. All right, Casa Corley off to a Halloween party. I wish I was that cool. I didn't get invited. Actually, wait, I did get invited to one Halloween party, but I had COVID. Darn it, I can't even do the thing for me because I had a Halloween party invitation was on Friday, and couldn't quite make it because I was still testing positive, even though I was starting to feel a little better. Shout out to Finn buying gold for the sub there. We've got the community AMA section ahead, and that's where all of your big questions, your hopes, your dreams, your desires, your criticisms, the feedback. Obviously, for many of you who brought the heat with cheating questions on the Reddit thread that I have in front of me or Twitter, whatever, I think that there's a world where we've already answered a lot of those questions with what I said at the top of this particular segment. Especially in regards to delving into some of the tough questions they didn't think we were going to answer in regards to my prediction on percentages and things like that in Reddit, as well as our thoughts about what everyone from Vladimir to Fabi to Hikaru to others have said. And we are going to continue to do our best. And I also saw a comment, every once in a while you see people in chat, getting in a debate with someone else in chat, and before you know it, they're talking about something that really is completely irrelevant to the content on the show. Thank you for the gifted subs, champ. But I want to call out that conversation real quick. because it wasn't relevant anymore to the show, but someone made a point that we have also made mistakes. And you're right. In fact, that even reinforces why a 1% chance of being right is actually not even good enough. I don't feel good about banning 1 in 100 title players, because those are my people too. Those are people that have sunk their entire life into this game and have worked incredibly hard and probably have livelihoods and coaching and things to protect, just like me. Just like me, who worked super hard before building a business before the chess.com thing came along. And so actually what you're saying is true. And that's not even deflecting. We have made mistakes. We have made false positives. We have made very, very few when you consider the mass scale with which we are closing cheaters and professionals. If you consider the Hans Niemann report that we only included title players who've confessed, I think people might just think about that. That's all. So we are not pretending to be perfect, not even close. We are operating with a level of conservative discretion that holds kindness and respect first. We also are acknowledging that this is some really hard mother bleepin' bleep to do. Can we just clip that? This is some hard mother to do. You are not wrong. And we're not the ones who are cheating, despite the crazy guy Seattle in chat saying Danny Rensch cheated against him. Shout out to you, crazy person. We are not the ones cheating. And we are doing our best to invest millions of dollars in the game. And we love you. And title players, and stop cheating. Because we're about to start revealing names. We're about to start getting even harder on your asses. Everyone can continue to be critical, and rightfully so. We will continue to our best. But can I get a mother... Amen. Jeez Louise. We are crushing it in terms of prizes, livelihoods, protecting the innocent, and creating an opportunity for an ecosystem to exist. Chess is the original esport. Without the content we have here, it wouldn't be there. So, yeah, you're right. We've made some mistakes, and this is some really hard stuff to do, but we're killing it. And thank you for your support. I love you, and we will be right back with the AMA.
All right, guys, when you're ready.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Frozen versus
What?
Toast, yeah. Chess Dojo versus... What exactly is your brand? Oh no, my queen? I guess that would be it.
Oh no, my heart rate's, yeah.
Overly sized giant queen.
Ah.
Says queen. My quality chess here.
Oh, this is close to his pet line.
Chess is so good. It's not so good.
I haven't looked at the board once.
Eric is fast.
Go for a duty flag.
Dirty flag.
Oh, that knight's not pinned.
Knight is not pinned. Keep it shaking.
Thank you. Okay. It's fine.
Fine?
Yeah. Less stuff in the way. Oh! Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
It's a sacrifice.
Back in it. Oh my god,
Wow.
what's going on here? That's not a move.
Oh, shoot. Oh no, my rook. Okay. Check, 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 check. Ah.
Did you tell him or should I?
Ah, GG. GG. Oh, good game. Whew. That was a workout. That's tough. Nice. Man, you did 5 of these.
With ChessKid's new live classroom feature, coaches can do so much more. Easily create or preload games from your library and invite your class in seconds. Teach face-to-face interactive lessons without having to leave the site. Teaching chess online has never been easier.
First.
Reading Slack. I'm reading Slack. I'm reading messages, trying to run the company, reading chat. Say my name. Someone said, what's my name? DJ Danny Rensch. That's what I love. I was getting caught up again with Bo Burnham this morning, his Inside album. Just one of the most genius creative pieces of human history. Yeah, I don't know why I was bringing that up, but the musical feelings are inside of me today. We're gonna dive into the community AMA here. This has been another stateofchess.com show. I feel like when we get to here, we've kind of hit a home run already, in that, you know, now we get to kind of chill a little bit, even though, of course, some of the questions that are upcoming are probably super tough and super sensitive. But as we've always said, this show is like a little bit of therapy. You know, you just kind of go at it and get it all off your chest after a quarter of, you know, hate on social media, or you know, misguided perspectives leading the narrative. You know, sometimes just totally false information. You know, we do our best. I see comments coming into Twitch chat now. I got Twitch up on that monitor. I got YouTube over here. We've got a bunch of questions that have already been curated and come at us from the community. If you're asking questions in real time now and it doesn't get answered, again, you have to know, don't become a spammer or a troll or ruin the experience. It's partly your fault in that we made a call to action to bring questions and you've had a long time to do it. If you're making a time-sensitive question that's relevant based on something I may have said a little bit in the show and you've been with us all day, we try to get to it, and we try to get to everything. But I'm just pointing out, you should join our Discord. Obviously, engage with us on Twitter. We've also got comments here from the YouTube community post, from Facebook, from anywhere the media is social. So you can and should get your questions asked, because as you see, we don't dodge even the hard balls. We actually... If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. The 5 Ds of dodgeball are dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. So we do dodge wrenches and balls. We dodge wrenches and we dodge balls on this show, but we do not dodge. Don't go there, Danny. Oh God. You are not a stand-up comedian. You are not allowed to say certain things. Thanks for the pep talk to self. Okay. But we do dodge certain things. And we also get calls that I know are from my son's school, which means every time I get this call this time of the day, he was tardy for a class. Ugh, get that kid. I'm going to get that kid. Gosh, kids. All right, let's do it. I want to start right off the top. From a great question that came in from Cleo Mina on Twitch. She asked, what are the plans for Chess.com to support women in chess in 2024? Will Chess.com be sending some of its team to @Women in Chess? You bet we will. To train as advocates. I'd love to see @Chess.com working on the org to make digital chess spaces more safe. So, great question, and it is something that we're working on deeply, truly, madly, all the time. In fact, if we bring up the screen share, I can pull up the article. When the Women in Chess Foundation was first announced, obviously we had a whole featured report on it and on our homepage, and we love the efforts that Dodgy and Amelia are making. I should probably say Dodgy's real name, Mike. We love the efforts that they're making, of course, but there are so many advocates for women in chess for all the different reasons, and for all the different reasons it's the right thing to do. And the thing I always say is that we are fighting macro and micro issues at the same time, and it's really hard right now, regardless of the scandals that have been highly unfortunate. And Jen Shahadi has led the way with being super outspoken against the bad actors within the community, and we have supported Jen and been very vocal in the process of just saying that this is an environment that can no longer be allowed to exist in a place where women feel unsafe. But even the next step is, after we solve safety, it's like unsupported and then unseen. Because even at the top end of that funnel, you need women heroes to inspire other women heroes of the next generation. And I always say that there's all kinds of debates that can be made in terms of women's events, women's titles, different things. And I've talked to men and women who sit on different ends of those arguments. So I'm not going to dive into that comment right now, Cleo. I think I can call you Cleo. I assume that's your first name, Cleo Mina, maybe. But I will say that the macro issue is that 50 years ago, it wasn't even that women weren't involved in chess enough. Women were still actively discouraged from all fields in math and science and even philosophy, and let alone chess, right? So macro issue that is a generational thing, and the sins of the parents cast upon the children. Micro current environments that we have to address in terms of diversity and inclusion. Then you've got the safety thing, which is not the safety thing, but it's a real thing right in the middle of it. And we need to attack an environment that has allowed bad actors to thrive. Right? It doesn't mean that everyone and anyone is a bad actor. Of course not. But environments can create the opportunity for bad actors. You see this in a lot of infrastructure that exists in other industries. And Chess.com doesn't want it, nor does anyone else. So what are we doing? We're supporting the Women in Chess Foundation. We're supporting women in chess and all kinds of inclusion. At the end of hopefully solving the safety issue, women are feeling more support, and then ultimately being seen even more than they currently are, which is both on camera and in big events. Because I believe that's how you generationally solve the problem. Is you have to have a goal, and a goal is more than just like a title, right? It's being like somebody, right? And we are always focused on that with our streamers, with the events we do for top players and women. So this is a huge topic. We care deeply about it, and we support Mike and Amelia. We support the Women in Chess Foundation. I'm looking at chat here as we talk about it. Internally, I can say that Chess.com recently launched an initiative called Chess is for Everyone, as well as our own DEI board. Again, we're doing all kinds of stuff here because Chess.com has no interest in leaving the game anything but fun, fast, cool, inclusive, diverse AF, is what the kids say. And we're going to continue to do that in all the right ways. And the safety thing has to come first, because if you're not in an environment that is safe, you can't solve the support and the be seen things that ultimately could inspire and maybe change the demographics of the game, as we all want everyone in life to feel like they have an equal opportunity in everything. Everybody wants equal opportunities at everything, and we are with that on every level, and safety first. Not even a Dos Equis joke where he always believed in safety first. And thank you for that question. All right, on to the next question from Twitter. Performance6942 asks, a bit unrelated, but is it against the rules to use an engine against bots to train tactics, opening, other things? I don't think it is against the rules to use an engine against bots. It is against the rules to use engines in puzzles, especially because there is a leaderboard. That said, just straight up, we monitor and curate this list less actively than competition for all the right reasons. We are human beings with limited resources. So if you're like, what? You're saying you monitor puzzle cheating leaderboards less than this? How dare you? I mean, like, look, competition with prize money, it's different when you're cheating against another human being. We do monitor the leaderboards for people who cheat in puzzles. And and other things, but it's not as active as a thing because limited resources are a real thing when you've got millions and millions of users in games, right? So the best I would say is this. If you're going to use an engine, you can actually even use engines against a friend if you've both willingly opted in and kind of like said you're going to. But it's not okay to use engines in any form of something that affects another person's experience. That is a game where you play them. That is a leaderboard. In a bot world, I don't think you affect someone else's experience if you decide you want to use an engine to get a bunch of 3 stars. Using engines to study openings is just studying chess. So I'm literally coming up with this macro policy in real time for all staff members listening, but I think our policy is using engines in any way that would negatively affect the experience of someone else on the site is against the rules, which to me is not just play, it's things that affect leaderboard. And leaderboards are things people feel good about. And so, no, you can't use it in tactics. From a bot's perspective, I don't know whether we monitor it closely, but again, I would guess no, because it already fits under the umbrella that I kind of just made up, but I think it's how we've acted for years because I've been the guy doing this for a long time. So I guess that's the deal. Next question. Fred the Alien 316. Can the brackets for tournaments be changed to make the games more evenly matched? Every tournament I'm playing against people 500 points ahead or below me. That's a tough thing to have fixed. Look, tournaments are different for a reason. Swiss tournaments are designed to play up and then play down. That's part of the process of winning or losing. Arenas are designed, depending on the type of arena you're playing, to get people quickly within your score bracket, regardless of strength. Or the other arena algorithm is designed to play people with strengths first. In fact, that's the main Chess.com algorithm, sort of the Mario Kart algorithm that we first coined. So I would say for Fred the Alien, maybe you should play more arenas where you get paired against strength rather than against people higher or lower rated. I've answered this question already. Are there any rough ideas on how to trim the frequency of cheating in Titled Tuesdays? If you are just tuning in because you really waited for the AMA, we got into some bleep today. Some of those parts will be put into their own videos on YouTube and other places where you access the content. Kids. You will find our breakdowns of it. Casa Corley and I talk about our fair play stuff for a very long time, even after my initial very high level but very direct opening thoughts on some of the big controversies that have been happening. And so I would say that all cheating questions from here on out, unless it specifically grabs my attention, is something I'm going to dismiss and ask you to watch earlier segments of the show. More events for non-titled players. We just crushed that in the community segment. Thank you, Goofy Tushar from Twitter. We've got community bullet brawls, community titled Tuesday, untitled Tuesday. Move on. Next question. Jimmy E from Twitter. Chess.com used to have minimum number of games played before entering tournaments. They used to be so much fun for people who created their account 3 days ago and 10 games rated. We're now beating people 500 points higher, 2,000 plus players. That's an interesting point. I don't know how to check the validity of Jimmy E's statement, but I agree that there needs to, even if we can't limit all new members from playing in a whole bunch of tournaments, because we don't want to. We want them playing tournaments. There should be tournaments where you can only play, I would guess, if you're premium or if your account has existed for like 100 games and this, right? Because frankly, that's what we were trying to do with our verified experience, right? So I'm going to do the thing. I hate to do the boss thing, but instead of me hopping into Slack to keep this thing going, I'm going to ask Spenny Thompson, who's staff, our production team, AK, who's our awesome mod team, BJH. If I find a question that I think is really good, let's follow up with State of Chess. And don't post them question by question, but let's make a summary of the questions that I do think we should double check on, because I really do think that is a fair question from Jimmy E. And if we don't have a tournament experience that's only for premium members or for people who've played more games, there are people, look, the chess world has grown, who are just cheating and being jerks, and then they make a new account. And we should try to help that. From Sai, when are you adding focus mode to mobile? I feel like we get that question from Sai every time, and we should just make up a meme at this point. Thank you, Sai. I say every time, it's hard to even design that in my head. Focus mode, what are you trying to not focus on in mobile? And I mean, you can already kill your chat settings. You can kill things. It's different. There's only so big you can make mobile. It's on a small device. You're breaking my mind, Sai. Next question. Be kind to. Can you add more features to mobile apps, please? Like when watching a live game, we can see the eval bar or score of players in Bullet Brawl. I think we have these things. Can we watch the bullet games of Arena Kings all together in PT? I'm just going to say, high level, we're always adding more features to mobile apps. I'm going to ask Be Kind 2 to reach out with a slightly more thoughtful outline of what you're requesting to the chess.com support Twitter, and that's not me saying that you weren't thoughtful, but I'm saying that didn't come across, I think, how you mean. I need to understand what you're trying to say. Robo Hen, it would be nice to have an undo feature for games. We get this request a lot. Can we add this to the document, please, AK? This is basically take back. Just so you know, we have a take back feature, but only staff can use it. LOL, twist ending. It pays to be staff, not just the chess.com staff shirt. Shout out to the guy on Twitter. Sorry, his name is blanking me, but I love him. The guy who's really mad that he'll never get a chess.com staff shirt. I love you, buddy. But not just the t-shirt. You can do takebacks, but we need to develop a take-back feature for friends. Friends should be able to have in their settings a toggle that says allow take-back features. I'm going to say it again for the document for AK because we're gonna bring this. Friends should be allowed to play take-back chess. Let's highlight that, because it is a good question. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You have 251 questions for me in this document. This is not going to happen. We are not going to get through this is... Oh. You guys, my Diamondbacks game just started. The World Series just started. I got to go watch the game. I am not getting through 250 questions. It's because I posted the Reddit thing, and there's a ton of questions from Reddit. But we got into all the cheating. Can we just go through, strike through all the cheating stuff? This is just so many questions, you guys, and it's awesome. And I almost feel like I should separate a Reddit AMA in addition to the Discord stuff. Does anyone want to suggest the next question? All right. If I just keep going in order, we will never make it to Reddit or Discord or we got YouTube first. We got Instagram, we got LinkedIn, we got Facebook, we got more Twitter apparently, we got more YouTube, we got Discord. Then we get to forums on the site, then we get to Reddit. All right. We're going to have to fix this AMA section, because if our show just crossed the line where people are actually delivering questions, and it's not just me bantering with the person in the front row as the comedian, we got a problem here. I feel like production is just letting me suffer. There's no advice coming here. They're like, this was your idea, dude. Okay. Thank you. There you go. Getting some direction here. Here we go. Question 39 about India. Could you decrease the membership costs for economically backward countries like India? So, if you didn't know, we actually already have geo-based pricing. And the reason you may not or may know that is because of how you're accessing the site. Because if you're accessing it via some sort of, torrent kind of IP sort of server, if you're using any kind of virtual thing, depending on how you're browsing the internet, you may not be seeing geo-specific pricing. Why can't I think of why can't I literally think of the word of when you use a virtual IP thing, not a torrent, that's a torrent. Help me out here. What is the thing you do that hides your IP address again? And go. I am so COVID brained right now. Anyway, a VPN. Thank you. Duh. NordVPN is okay. If you're using any form of VPN, you will not see that. And again, we do have geo-specific pricing. That said, we are working on also integrating more effectively with local payment systems. In fact, shout out to my baby bird, our CFO. Don't ask me why I call him my baby bird. Our relationship is special. I'm going to say that. shout out to my baby bird, Bryce, who actually hit up the leadership team today we are integrating with actually, expanding our payment vendors to allow us to better serve local payment systems. So you're not just relying on PayPal or credit cards or this or that. So we are working on better payment systems. Love you, baby bird. And there is membership and geo-specific pricing. What's my next line? Come on, I'm going to do the thing like I'm getting a message from the universe. Come on, God, give me the 50. I'm feeling it's a 50 number with a 6. I'm going to 56. This is so much fun. The universe has told me go to line 56 in this massively psycho document of hundreds of questions. Are you planning to run OTB events for normal people like us in the future? Harry, okay, that's a good question. I guess that comes from the idea that we're now doing this sort of like OTB, from the online events we do to these amazing experiences we're going to have in Toronto. I will say this, like I already mentioned what we want to do for fans. The chess world has grown. We want to deliver an awesome experience that's exciting for whether it's that type of generation, that type of enthusiast where they came, because there's also a really great community that exists, and we want more people in the traditional chess community, not because we're trying to change that, but we think there's maybe a better gateway drug, if to use a bad term, to get more people into over-the-board chess. And so, Harry 69007, like, I would say the answer is we would love to do that. It's really hard to put that higher on the roadmap other than we have talked about doing a Chesscon. We have a lot of things in motion to bring together more fan zone experiences that may involve something official, like an over-the-board tournament. We actually just did our first OTB rated tournament at our staff tournament. Sorry, at our meetup in the Dominican. Everyone in the company, we just had our company meetup a few weeks ago in the Dominican Republic, and we did a FIDE rated Blitz tournament and a staff tournament. So we're going to continue to do more of those things, but there's also really, really great over-the-board chess experiences out there. You probably have a local club, so if you really want to get started, Harry, go for it. All right, I'm looking to the universe to tell me, where do I go next, universe? Speak to me. I see the crystal ball and the tea leaves. I feel like there's a 6. There's a 6. Is there a 9? No, that's a different thing. We're not going for 69. 62. We're going to 62. We've got drinks 675. Please invest on improving the chess coaching explanations that come with Diamond. You're welcome. We are on track to some really, really great breakthroughs here. Yes, 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 yes. We are investing heavily. It takes a lot because it isn't just updating your stockfish for the criticisms of the different servers out there, chess.com and Leech Chess, which are the two greatest chess servers for all the haters out there. Don't like me being honest in any criticism ever. But I will say that regardless of the engine that powers it, the R&D work, the quality that goes into really trying to help coach, give you information like a human, takes a lot of special effort. We have so many smart minds working on this, and we believe our game review and our coach is the future of so many awesome ways people are going to learn. And so as a premium member, Drink 675, we thank you for your support, and we are working and investing on making that even better for those who want to get better at chess. All right, what's my next number? Tell me, universe, where am I going next? Tell me. Oh my gosh, you're not moving fast enough. You're only jumping to 71. When are the balance changes? Oh, you mean the balance odds. Smort from Discord wants to know when are the balance changes coming. I have also not been thrilled with our balanced odds because I have games going with some friends I've made, some celebrity friends, and you want it to be like interesting. And I don't like the odds selections. It should be better. There should be ways to make it more specific. So let's green that item because it is an accurate one. We need to improve the balanced odds. Okay. Next question. Talk to me, babe. Talk to me, babe. Give it to me, babe. Okay, I'm feeling an 8. Feeling an 8. Okay, talk to me, babe. It's a 3. An 8, 3. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. First person who says that reference gets a diamond membership in chat. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Watch for it. The first person to say it. I'm watching chat. You watch Twitch. I'm watching YouTube. Where is it? Come on. There it is. Mouse Slip gets a diamond membership. Lost. And Sacco Boys on YouTube gets a diamond membership. Lost. Law. 83. From It's Mario. It's me, Mario. In Discord. Also, is there any plans to spread chess in like countries that have an issue like Africa, etc.? I asked that because I know 0 people my age that play chess IRL. We work with a lot of different partners who are doing awesome stuff around the world. Honestly, I feel like the Chess Kid team has a little more of the specific answer, so I don't just give the big Mr. CEO chess answer to say, like, you know, we're doing all kinds of things to grow the game and invest in diversity, and especially in regions that don't have chess. We are, and it is true. And I don't have a massive list of some of the specific things that have happened, other than probably the biggest event we did this year was the Lede Haiti event. If you didn't see it, Rainn Wilson and Chess.com held a charity event for his foundation, Lede Haiti, which invests in education for girls and all kinds of infrastructure, but also just in general bringing more chess to different parts of the world is always at the top of the list. And yeah, so good question on that. And we can give, if you want to reach out, maybe because you want to support or be more involved, send a message to the chess.com support Twitter channel. And yeah. Why do all the questions get a mistake from Practical Chess? That's meant to just be a question mark because it's a question. The questions are not mistakes. Although that is a good shout out for Matt. Shout out to Matt, crushing it behind the scenes. Sexy man on the graphics. Funny story about Matt is Matt and Shia LaBeouf have history. I'm not going to share the history because Matt wouldn't want me to do that. But Matt and Shia LaBeouf have history. Running from Your Life from Shia LaBeouf. Shout out to Matt, who's working on it, but it does show our request is nice, Matt, which is, we should have an exclamation point for a great question. That way you can judge the questions. A question mark for a stupid question. And then a double question mark for an idiot question, right? No, I'm kidding. But the question mark is not game review, everybody. It's just a question. All right? Chill out. Talk to me, universe. Talk to me, baby. Where are we going next? Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Oh, we are flying far into the future. 110 from Reddit. Will you guys ever reopen the original Chess Bomb? It was a relatively small website with a unique community and was never a serious threat to chess.com, and you shut it down. Why couldn't you just keep the original one up anymore? I know you will just say to use the events page on chess.com, but it isn't the same. Let me ask you this. If the community that was on Chess Bomb is looking to thrive, what do communities want to thrive? They want an experience where people know them. They want to have chat with those people who know them. Chat can be both real-time and forums and things. And you can create every one of those aspects on chess.com within a club, within the literal chat room of the event. What I will say is this, and I've never been as publicly outspoken about this as I'm going to be right now. The chat on Chess Bomb was often a cesspool. And honestly, it was neglected by moderators, and it led to all kinds of racist, misogynistic, crazy, mother bleeping stuff. And I'm not calling you out, brilliant platform at all. I'm saying this. I am calling your bluff. The events feature has more than it ever could. You can also watch on Chess24, which we're working to make all feature parity. You have so many ways to create an amazingly diverse community on Twitch, on YouTube, on chess.com. And what I do know is that small, unchecked chat rooms lead to bad things. The dark corners of the internet are often not where the best conversations are going down. And I'm not saying this out of accusations of any username. I saw firsthand the stuff that was going on unmoderated. And look, Chessbomb was great. We didn't shut them down. We acquired their company. We loved working with Peter and Boris, and they're still here helping with everything that we do. We brought communities together because Chessbomb had amazing tools, and we brought them to chess.com, and we worked together. So this isn't like we shut down and like evil. This is like a lot of people were very happy about that experience during the acquisition. A lot of people financially benefit from that and have made an even better tool. And a neglected chat room where bad cesspool conversations were happening is not coming back. Next question. Sorry. How much money are you willing to spend to buy Lee Chess? Lee Chess is not for sale. Lee Chess is not for sale. And I'm not saying we would want to buy them anyway, but Lee Chess is not for sale. And Lee Chess is awesome. So thank you for the question. And next question. Next question. You can't buy things that aren't for sale, like love. Oh, it wasn't as quick. I'm looking around to see. Did anybody see the video I did with Pawn Stars? It just got released on social media. Did anyone see the Pawn Stars video with Rick? I'm asking, have you watched the Pawn Stars video yet? It's definitely not true. I definitely prefer the gameplay experience on chess.com because it's the best. But did anybody watch Pawn Stars? Okay, it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter. I'm going to go upstairs and get something, and you're going to quickly load the video and watch it. It's like 60 seconds because we had a lot of fun while we were in Las Vegas at TwitchCon before I caught COVID, recording a really fun video with Rick from Pawn Stars. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. Come on, everybody. Hey, chat. Mom, we're going to YouTube. We're going to watch the video about Pawn Stars. Okay, let's go. Okay. I should probably go to youtube.com/chess, yeah? That's where the magic happens, right? Absolutely. We've got videos. Maybe we put it in shorts. We've got the shorts. It's not on YouTube yet. Now the content team's going to get called out. Why is it not on YouTube yet? Why would we have it on the other platforms before YouTube? All right, we got to go to Twitter. Twitter.com/Chesscom. All right, we're going to Twitter. We're going to Twitter, man. I saw it on Instagram. Apparently, we spread out the platform. So before I call out my team and say that they dropped the ball, I guess I'm going to assume that there's a strategy here, which is that they are spreading out the media at different times. So that's why no one has seen it yet, because we just revealed, what did we do? We just ratioed ourselves. No one here is on Instagram. We just figured out that nobody, and I can't get it. I log in. I don't know my freaking Instagram password. Are you serious? I'm too old to remember that. I got my password remembered on this for that reason. So now I have to call out the content team because it should be on YouTube or Twitter or one of the old platforms for old people, not Instagram. Oh my God. Can I watch content on TikTok? I probably should. I'm probably not even legally allowed to go to TikTok. You know, is it on TikTok? Can I watch content without logging into TikTok? We're going to find out, boys and girls. Nope, you can't. Oh, wait. No, we are chess, aren't we? I don't know. Okay, everyone just go watch it on Instagram. I'm just going to go get something. It's not about the video, or someone else can pull it up from staff. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here's what I wanted to show everybody. I wanted to show you guys something, which is this. This right here. This, when you watch the video, will all make sense. Magnus Carlsen and Rick from Pawn Stars. Okay, I think we have the video. At some point, one of you is going to donate something special for an amazing cause. Mental health, kids' education, I don't know. And you're going to get this board. Let's watch this video. Let's do it. Woo! Let's watch the video.
Let's see if this thing works out the way I think I should. This Magnus-Hikaru. They'll never know what hit us. All right, here we go. Lots of.
Hold on, there's a double sound. I think it's the fact that Twitch is open. I think we close this tab. Close this tab. Oh, okay, great. So I hear it twice, but you guys don't. But we're back.
Here for this chess memorabilia. Let's see what they got going on in here. All right, where's Rick? I came to barter. Excuse me, sorry about that. Pawn coming through. It is a pawn shop after all. Hello, good sir. I've come to barter.
What do you got?
So this is a one-of-a-kind marble chess set signed by Magnus-Hikaru. You can see his name right there.
Okay, well, first off, it's not a chess set, it's just a chess board, okay? And that would be absolutely amazing. He's one of the greatest chess players ever on the face of the planet.
The greatest, so you get it.
Yeah, I mean, and a chess board signed by him could be just worth a fortune, okay? And normally I'd call in an expert to look at this, but that is so blatantly fake, it's ridiculous.
I mean, look, it literally says Magnus-Hikaru.
You still have a Sharpie in your hands.
I found the Sharpie outside, sir, and I think,
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're going to bring it, I mean, you would kind of, I mean, obviously you don't have any pockets, but like, not interested.
Okay.
All right, leave.
Thank you for your time. That did not go well.
You never know what's going to walk through that door.
Anyway, you know, we're back. I don't even care if you like the video. I know that half the stuff I do is cringe to some of you. We did have a lot of fun. Rick was great, by the way, but I wanted to show you, we have a signed that's Magnus Carlsen's name. That says Magnus Carlsen right there, as well as, of course, Rick from Pawn Stars. So at some point, if you are interested in a Magnus Carlsen by Danny Rensch signed thing, we're gonna figure out some fun way to give that away. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do it. So okay, I'm gonna set the cap here. We have a few more minutes to go. It's not for sale, but it's it was a fun thing to do. So all right, we're continuing here. What is the next line? There's just too many questions. Too many questions. 134. Uncle Sam wants to know who would be the fairest opponent for me to personally fight in chess boxing. You know, size, and I'm a little bigger, I think, than John Bartholomew. Pretty close, though. Me and John are close. I'm trying to think. I think Bartholomew would be fun. Levy and I are close enough, too. I'm also a teeny bit bigger than Levy, but he's way better at boxing than me. All you gotta do is follow him on Twitter. I would probably feel pretty good against Andrea Botez, if she's into that. I think that me and Andrea would have a pretty good match. Will someone clip and send that to Andrea? That's it. I think Andrea Botez and I would make a good pairing there. Very even. Throwing down. Taj Mahal. Let's effing go. Next question. Next question. Tyler 1 is a good one, too. I'm obviously kidding. Oh, my God. It's funny where there's like the scale of humor sometimes really varies Twitch user to Twitch user. You know, as well as YouTube chatter. Okay. Okay, we go to 176. Will you have live video from the playing hall for the candidate? Yes, we will. Indeed, we will. You will find that on Chess 24, where we are covering over-the-board chess in general. We obviously make some exceptions, but in general, the future is Chess24 will be your home for over-the-board chess. And we've got so many fortunate options, obviously, as far as where to find content and where to push content, and we're trying to give some clarity to our community as far as where they will find things. So some people here maybe haven't even subscribed to the Chess24 YouTube or the Twitch, which you should do. And so that'll be on the Chess24 Twitch, and it will have over the board camera feed. Keep them going. Keep them going. $186. Is Chess.com going to support the St. Louis Chess Club now since they've released the statement? Chess.com already responded to St. Louis's response, and so the answer is yes. We obviously stand by and expressed what we did, and really our intention was, I guess, that we just felt like more needed to be done, more needed to be said. We actually deeply respect and appreciate the efforts that have been made, and in conversations with them and in the statement they released, we are excited to see St. Louis chess events back on our site. It already has been the case, and we're going to continue to support them and the good things that they bring to chess. And it was a highly unfortunate thing that many women experienced, and the handling of that situation. It was not necessarily going well in my opinion, but also, chess.com's perspective was shared, and we made the statement, I guess, took the position that we did, but ultimately we do feel like really good things for the future of chess are ahead. St. Louis is an amazing entity and organization and has done a lot of really good things for the game of chess, especially in the US. And their events are already back on our site, and we are happy about that. And as is Jen Shahadi, and I don't want to speak for anyone else in that entire situation. But yes, St. Louis events are back on chess.com, and we are happy about that, and looking forward to the future and all of these things being handled better, more transparently. And as the first question at the top of the show pointed out, we need a safe environment for all women in chess. That is first and foremost before we can accomplish my other goals and many other people's goals, which is better support and then better seen, as far as how I look at that. And so safety is incredibly important. It's been a huge issue this year, as is rightfully so, because these things needed to be talked about, and I'm glad they are being talked about. So there's my even more elaborate answer than maybe you thought I would give, obviously to a topic that's been pretty big, but we are, again, happy to have St. Louis events on our site. We appreciate the statement they made, and we're looking forward to the future. Next question. 195. We're getting there, everybody. Abhimanyu Mishra mentioned in his recent C-Squared interview that he lost his Chessable sponsorship when you acquired PMG. Will you renew that sponsorship? Will you ever renew that sponsorship or other sponsorships? I don't think that the relationship with Abhimanyu and Chessable had anything to do with the acquisition. There's all types of relationships that are between the businesses of chess and ambassadors, right? I mean, we've had many, and we will continue to have many. And Abhimanyu Mishra had one with Chessable, and I actually don't know any of the details of that relationship. And especially on a show where that's what I do, talk about this stuff. I would tell you, I don't know anything about how that relationship went down, which kind of by definition means that it had nothing to do with the acquisition because it wasn't an item of discussion. But I can speak for Chessable, I think, in saying that I'm sure there was nothing malicious or no harm meant there. Sponsorships run their course. People are sponsored, and sometimes sponsorships come to an end or they roll back. Will we ever renew sponsorships with upcoming talents? That's the second part of that question from Evan. The answer is yes, of course. Right? We are in the business of making amazing events for players and of sponsoring players and also of growing the game. And in that kind of perfect circle where we all help each other, we have a lot of plans for more ways to invest in the future ecosystem of chess, because more stories need to be told. More players deserve to have bigger spotlights than currently do. You have a few stars in the game. We need more. and we are going to invest in those things. As far as specific sponsorships of talent, of ambassadors, every one of those is a case-by-case basis, and we will continue to deal with it as it is. So, there you go. Thank you for complimenting the process very smoothly. Thank you for these no-filter questions that other companies might have dodged. I appreciate you saying that. I already threw down the AMA challenge, me versus Zuckerberg. Let's go. I'll even take on Elon Musk, who will say the craziest things. If we want to do like a transparency battle, talk about the big things going on, let's go. Right? I'm kidding, obviously, although I'm not. But no, I appreciate that. That's the goal of our show. And I will not sign your shirt because you're not here. I don't have a favorite ice cream because I've discovered I'm a little more lactose intolerant than I once wanted to admit. Ice cream doesn't sit well on my tummy. Is that TMI? A little too much info there, Dan. I'll say this. Good ice cream, high quality ice cream is, right? But it's got to be good stuff, right? And Jenny's ice cream, if you don't eat Jenny's ice cream brand, they are not a sponsor of this show, but they damn well should be. I will eat Jenny's ice cream more than I should. College Chess League finals, yes. And when? Soon. I mean, why not this season? Joe, let's go. Let's get some sponsors. Let's get some help. Let's do a CCL finals. I agree with that. I would commentate an Elon Zuckerberg match. Thank you for that. What is my favorite Nalimov? You're getting the COVID. You're getting the COVID to come back with that question. I don't have a favorite Nalimov position. But baby, we should switch it up and try some new positions. I'll say that. If you don't know Into Chess Club, somebody share Into Chess Club with chat. Into Chess Club. I'm gonna give you the greatest video that no one ever talks about of all time. The greatest video in the history of videos. This is from a chess.com contest we did. And that is the greatest thing to come out of Yale since Robert Hess. That Into Chess Club video is the greatest thing to come out of Yale since Bobby Hess himself. And you can clip it and ship it. Calling you out. That is the greatest thing ever to come out of Yale. All right. We're going to do one more question from the doc, producers. You get one more. One more question from the doc, and then some banter here, and we're wrapping up this show before the top of the hour. Let's go. In last year's stateofchess.com, I mentioned that there were no plans to implement classical rating for 2023. What's the status for 2024? The status is we want to do it, especially as we've been even more involved in kind of the chess punks adult improver community. Obviously, we've always believed in that community, and we've always seen sort of the a la carte content ecosystem as a big part of how we know people wanted to learn. Not everyone wants a premium membership. They want to choose their own adventure. So not just from a business decision, but from an ecosystem perspective, it was also better for us to develop relationships with creators where they really get to own their reason people are upgrading for them. So it really felt good to bring Chessable and Chess.com together to kind of complete the family there. And that community tends to also be the community that really cares about longer time controls just because they're here to get better at chess, right? And so as those communities come together, the need for this, the priority for it continues to go up. And I can't say where it sits on the roadmap at the same time. I'm sorry. It is a priority. It's on the roadmap. Where classical ratings sit, I would have to talk to a combination of Eric and then Josh Levine, shout out to our CTO. And it's just, I don't know where it sits. But thank you, and I'm sorry if that's not the answer you wanted. All right. Chat, you've been awesome. I'm doing a quick review. Twitch and YouTube. We've got okay, that's good to know. Der Schultz, I stand corrected in YouTube chat. The Lead Chess Server Analysis does use SF16, but the web client uses SF14. That's kind of what I was saying. I'm pretty sure that screenshot from Levy was from that, but again, it doesn't matter. appreciate it. I also appreciate that people put things through their own religious filters, which you should be careful with that, right? Because like, just because I say something doesn't mean it means more negative things than I'm intending, right? It's like if you say the G word to an atheist, they dismiss everything you say from then on out, which is dogmatic thinking regardless. Or if you say a certain word to a Christian or a certain word to this, right? We should not dismiss people through our own preconceived filters. I'm not attacking Lee Chess necessarily. I was just making a statement about that, and I think I'm right about where that screenshot came from, Levy. So that's helpful to all those out there who feel like it's a religious debate between chess.com and Lee Chess. Twist ending, both sides are awesome. Thank you for playing. What else you got? He has answered too many questions. He has answered too many questions from this chat as well. Okay, that's good. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. I love your effort, Danny. Keep working hard. Thank you, Der Schultz. Appreciate that. Appreciate the clarification where I was wrong as well. Really do. I also just don't like religious debates or people like being dogmatic in the whole chess.com thing. It's like, hey, we're all doing great stuff here. You know, thanks for doing that. How many tickets are available for the CCT final? That's actually a really good question for Alex Bick. You know, Alex, who I'm referring to internally. We were debating whether we were just going to make it free for everyone, and I already know we're gonna pack the house. But I'm wondering if we should sell tickets. Literally not for the monetary reasons. I will invent a prize event to give it away, everybody. So don't freak out. But I actually think we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem with seating. So we need to think about how we're going to do it. We have a venue, we have a program, we have amazing hosts called the Chess Bras. We've got awesome, reasons you should come, but it's not going to be easy for everyone to have that great experience, which is why I believe in Vegas, and I will be working on future events where fans can buy tickets by the thousands. This event is unfortunately not going to be that event. It's going to be amazing. You should come to Toronto, but I don't think we're going to have hundreds or thousands of tickets. So we got to figure that out. I don't know how many tickets are available. We need to talk to Alex about it. It is going to be fire event. Hot, spit, fire, as the kids would say. I'm not ignoring you, random things. Random things, what are you saying? May you please stop favoring title players in terms of giving them top blogger status when they don't deserve it. That's fair. That's a fair criticism. My son is calling me right now. I'm going to call him back in just a second. That's fair. I would say this, though. We're not being biased toward title players. Title players inherently have invested a lot more of themselves into the chess community than most. I won't say everyone, than most. And there's no debate in that. It's not even a statistical debate, right? Title players have worked super hard, invested in years of their chess career, or they wouldn't have the title. And many of them are coaches and creators, and they have livelihoods that are slightly more dependent on chess than not to use a funny username, than a Random Things username, right? That said, Random Things, I'm not dismissing you. I'm acknowledging that we could probably do a better job supporting some of the really creative, awesome voices who are content creators on our site who are not title players, and I respect that criticism, and we're going to add it to the doc. Okay? How's that? That I didn't ignore you. Yeah. We did it. We did it. We made it to the top of the hour. Okay. Another State of Chess done. Mittens is coming your way. You're going to want to get this in the merch. Oh my God. It's so comfy. It's so comfy. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody. I know I say that at the end of every State of Chess, but it really is real. This is the real deal. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support, your tough questions, your compliments, your kindness. And I apologize to literally the 200 plus questions we didn't get to. This is insane. Thank you so much. Maybe I will do a written version of getting back to this. Maybe I'll do like an AMA where I answer all the questions ahead of time or something. I don't know. But thank you so much. Thank you to the team. Thank you to the producer, our TDs, our engineers, all of you guys and gals working super hard or hardly working. Whatever one you're into at this time. Jokes aside, thank you so much. And I would prep or preempt our next show but I don't know what it is, so instead I'm going to say, watch The Isle of Man, that's probably our next show, and watch Title Tuesday. Oh my god, I did it. I remembered our calendar. Great. So watch The Isle of Man tomorrow, and enjoy Title Tuesday, and I will see you around on chess.com.
Right. Right.